this is the first time that these two will be facing off against one another this season. What are things that the both of them, they're eyeing each other down, especially throughout this first period, as things get going, that they're looking for with one another?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was talking to Coach Dave Landers earlier this week, and he was saying how Blewater's strength is to be very offensive. And defensively, they've been doing a very good job as well, only allowing 4 goals in the last 5 games, which is very impressive from a team. I'm sure both teams will get a better look at each other in the warm-up. It's the first time playing each other this season. They're just going to look for shots, how their goaltenders kind of rebound those pucks in warm-ups and things like that.
Awesome. Well, we actually get to take a look at tonight's starting goalies that we have here for you. JC, you can actually take it away with those starting goalies.
Yeah, absolutely. Starting in goal for the Kitchener Lady Rangers is Madison King, starting at number 39. And in net for the Blewater Hawks, Jordan Flattix, number 84. We're looking for a very exciting goaltending game tonight.
You bring up goaltending, and something that we have to know, we know that she's not starting tonight, but the other goaltender for the Blewater Hawks, Taya Curry. Taya being the first ever female drafted to the Ontario Hockey League. She was drafted by the Sarnia Sting, a trailblazer, a role model for so many. Just phenomenal what Taya's been able to do.
Absolutely, I would agree. And the Blewater team has got to feel very confident with her in the back of their net. So that's definitely a reputable goaltender to have throughout the entire league. I'm sure every team knows her name and get a little scared when coming up against this Blewater Hawks team.
And it's something that Taya was actually able to attend orientation camp with the Sarnia Sting. She was able to play in a couple of those games alongside other Sarnia Sting, rookies as well. And it was a phenomenal experience for her. She made history just by stepping on the ice as well. I know that there's a lot of people who are very excited about what the future holds. Now, there's some rules around eligibility in terms of, she's looking to play in the NCAA, and if she were to actually play in the OWHA, there would be rules around eligibility, but she's been crushing it, of course, in the OWHA. And you're right, Kitchener, you got to think, is Taya going to be in net? Maybe, maybe not, but they definitely got to look out for Flattix as well.
Absolutely, I would agree. Yeah, these Kitchener team, as we see them warming up, they're doing a phenomenal job so far, getting ready for tonight's game. I'm sure this is the first time they're both very excited, whether they know or not. I don't know. I don't think Coach Chad Radwell told the Kitchener team that Rogers was going to be covering the game tonight, so it's a very big surprise for them. The Blewater team as well, very historic moment in women's hockey here tonight.
And it's something so important. These girls work so hard. Both of us, we cover both the Junior B London Nationals as well as the London Knights in the OHL, and we know, just how much dedication those players put towards their hockey. These girls, they're doing the exact same thing. Some of them are billeting. They're also managing and balancing school along with, 4 practices a week and then games on the weekend, sometimes tournaments, all of that travel as well. Kitchener having to come down, whether or not there's a snowstorm, how early do you got to leave? All of those factors these girls experience, all for the hopes of, you talk to them, and a lot of their goals, their ambitions include playing at that NCAA or CIS level for them. So, games like this, JC, how important is it? We have a range of ages, of course, but as they do look toward their future, how much is that in the back of their mind in a game like this tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. You always want to, when you step out on that ice, you always want to put your best foot forward. You always want to play your best game. And growing up with some of these girls that are playing here tonight, I know they're just good people all around. They do their school, they do their hockey. They're just average people who are phenomenal in what they do in their hockey career, and they're just looking to go as far as they possibly can.
And I know that we talked about Taya Curry being the trailblazer that she is, but really all of these girls are. They've worked so hard to be able to get to a level like this, and as we watch them warming up, of course, they're so excited to be out there, and they've earned it. They're trailblazers in themselves, and I think that that's also why we are so excited to be here tonight and featuring these girls and showcasing everything that they have and that they're giving to the sport as well. I was speaking with Coach Chad Campbell, and he said that a couple weeks ago they were up at York University playing in North York, and they said that York was playing against the Brock Badgers. They have a lot of alumni who now play for the Brock Badgers, and he mentioned Lexi Templeman, one of their alumni, and just how she was able to be such a role model for his girls, and they saw her there and they were just so excited. She actually was playing at Robert Morris University. That team ended up folding, and then she was able to go over to Ohio State win a championship with Ohio State and now plays in the PHF for the Toronto Six. So it's a very good example of what is possible for these girls. They are still young, but I mean, bright future for them for sure. Now we will send you to the ice for the national anthem.
On D, number 4, Avery Thurston. And in goal, number 39, Madison King. And now your starting lineup for your Blewater Junior Hawks. At forward, number 73, Maya Habib. At forward, number 71, McKenna Krulicki. At forward, number 88, Olivia Detloff. And on D, number 20, Hannah Grima. On D, number 93, Avery Robinson. And in goal, number 84, Jordan Slattix. And I would now ask you to please rise and stand if you're able and remove your hat for the playing of our national anthem.
Well, hello, everybody. We are so happy that you have decided to join us on this very, very cold, chilly Saturday evening. Coming to you live in Strathroy at the Gemini Sportsplex. We got the Blewater Hawks hosting the KW Lady Rangers for a little 7 p.m. Saturday evening hockey game. We are just moments away from puck drop as both sides look to get things started. JC, you got to think that both sides are hoping for a quick start.
Absolutely, I would think so. It's always the first draw. This is the first time these teams are facing off against each other this season. So a key to the game would be winning the first draw.
And here we go. We'll see. It's Kitchener who takes possession. That's Captain Caitlin Kramer who elects to dump it into the zone. Blewater trying to get a handle on it deep in that right far corner. Centering pass out from the Rangers. Shot from the point. No problem for Slattix. She takes care of that first shot. And she gets warmed up just a little bit. Kitchener the Rangers really keeping pressure on in the zone right now. Blewater trying to clear it. They can't quite. They'll finally try to get it out of the zone and maintain control as we get it over center ice. And Kitchener takes it back over Kramer. Finds her D, and then the D will try and control both teams, actually giving quite a bit of pressure as we're over the blue line from Blewater. They'll dump it in, chase it down in the far right corner, centered up, right to the blue line now. They will try and walk it in. Beautiful setup pass. That saved by King. She's also got her first save of the night. Slattix and King going back to back there. Blewater takes possession. Rangers fighting for it, jumping over the blue line. Shot. Oh, that rings off the post. You could hear it from up here as they bring it over the center line. And the Kitchener Rangers will go at it again. Over the blue line now. Just a little bit too far. A little bit of a toe drag there. Tried. Shot went wide as the Kitchener Rangers now, the Blewater takes it over. Back and forth play right at center ice. Blewater with it in their end. They'll take control, elect to play it from D to G. Kitchener with that pressure up on the ice now. Right in the corner, a little bit of a battle. Plenty of battles that we've actually seen so far in these first couple minutes right at the Blewater bench. Again, Blewater taking control. They'll play it behind the net. Try and slow things down, but Kitchener not letting them. You see all four Kitchener Rangers up there, not letting them take it. Blewater now trying to make something happen. 3 Blewater Hawks. Shot on net, and denies that one again. Her second save of the night. Pass there. KW Rangers elect to dump it in. Sladix will play it out far to her left side. That's Caitlin Kramer, captain, who picks it up, plays it around the net. She's got it on her backhand, elects to dump it back in. And she's got her assistant captain there, April Reiner, fighting in the corner alongside Abigail Kirk. Her wingers. Kramer in that center ice position, waiting for the pass. Blewater takes it over. 3-on-2 now. They'll carry it up. Shot on net. Too high. Another shot. King denies that one again. Shot from the point. Trying to get as many shots as possible over to Madison King. Now, Kitchener on a change. They'll change with some speed as they carry it up. Wind it around the nets. Oh, it was centered. Couldn't quite get a stick on it. It's dumped in again. Blewater now with the possession. Blewater being able to maintain control. They play it out of the zone, and they'll chase it down. Madison King tries to control it. Her defenseman blows a tire behind the net, Then centering pass. Oh, that was a fantastic opportunity for Blewater, their best one yet, as they had odd numbers, able to take advantage of that opportunity. Again, chasing that far down. Blewater's on them now. KW giving them a little bit of pressure. Blewater giving it right back. Like JC said, this is the first time that these two are facing off against one another this season. They're both coming out fast. They want to essentially assert what they both can provide. Clara Chisholm in plenty of those battles. Dumped in now. Chisholm tries to go on backhand, center that pass. KW picks it up, and now it's Alexandra Holmes with some speed. She dumps that in. Blewater will catch Kitchener on a change now. Assistant Captain Hubert can't get control of it quite yet. She's got bidding all over her. They'll exchange a little bit of friendly words, and then right at center ice, Kitchener picks it up. Blewater says, nope. Kitchener will play it back again, trying to get control of things, trying to get something going here. Kitchener brings it up now. Blewater stops them up. Kitchener's got to make sure that they weren't offside, Bidding not able to get back in time.
We're going to take a look back at a very good opportunity the Blewater Hawks had here. Great shot off by Olivia Battram from Blewater on goalie Madison King from the Kitchener team. That's got to give Blewater some confidence going into the rest of this period.
Madison King making a few saves already. Blewater's been up on her quickly. You see that opportunity, a great one for Blewater. They'll look to definitely want to get a couple more of those for sure. As you see, Blewater plays it behind the net. They'll look to get things set up. They play it up. Oh, Reiner tries to intercept that at the blue line. That was a dangerous zone there. Reiner gets going. She's going to take advantage of that. Blewater plays it over the blue line. Centering pass. Can't get a shot off. That's Caitlin Kramer who actually breaks it up, the captain for the Rangers, and she'll fire that up to her winger in April Reiner. April Reiner chases it down, centering pass. She hits the back of the net. Sladix looking, which way is she going to go? Now at the point. That's Lillian Bell. Rebound. Oh, That was a close one for sure. A great opportunity for the Rangers. They had a wide open cage just for a moment there. And Sladix, it went behind her, but not over the crease. Again, now Kramer being crafty behind the net. Reiner picks it up, centering pass. Saved, Megan. That was Sladix right there, making sure that it stays. 0-0 game so far.
Blewater and the Kitchener team just going constantly back and forth. Kitchener had a phenomenal wide open opportunity there on Sladix. Has got to be kicking themselves a little bit with that wide open net.
You got to think it's always like almost too good to be true. You have that open cage, you can hardly believe that it's there. Blewater tries to play it out of the zone, but Kitchener comes up with it. They'll chase down, make sure that there's plenty of pressure on Blewater. Blewater now, just making sure that they get it out of their zone, trying to play safe. Kitchener now, they'll try and get something going as they dump it in on that far left side. Firing in there is Samantha Snyder. She'll elect for a change as Blewater dumps it in on the far right side. King, she plays it behind the net. Whew, got someone, will have a penalty on that play as she was taken out, the Blewater Hawk there, taken out behind the net. So a delayed penalty means that it's a 6-on-5 for Blewater, and we'll have our first power play to start this game.
It's always very fun seeing special teams going into this game, having not played each other before, seeing the dynamic of how each team sets up. We're going to take a look back at that penalty there. Looks like a little bit of a body check awarded to the Kitchener team. So Blewater will be up a man for 2 minutes here in the first period.
JC, something that people often ask or wonder about women's hockey is whether or not it's physical. And that was an example right there. Yes, it absolutely is. You see Blewater plays it to the point. They'll elect to go down low, bring it from the far right side back to the point. Kitchener making sure that they don't. Great defensive play. That's Kramer again. Captain. Kitchener able to clear it. Sladix able to get a hold of that, help her team out, make sure that they can get off. And then Kitchener elects for a change there. As Blewater brings it over the blue line, they'll try to get set up again. They maintain control at the blue line. Over to the far right side. Shot on net. Oh, deflection right out in front. Madison King able to maintain, keep control of this power play.
Absolutely. Blewater dominating in the Kitchener zone on their power play. We see Captain Claire Chisholm out there just leading her team, leading the play. We see them set up fairly wide. We can see Blewater's trying to drive the puck to the side and then get a wide shot on net and hopefully generate a rebound there from the Kitchener goaltender. So we see they're getting lots of shots on net. Try to really utilize this power play to get themselves ahead of this game in this first period.
A huge opportunity for sure to be able to have early in the first as we're actually almost midway through. Shot on net, that hits the glove of Madison King. Another shot from the point. These Blewater Hawks pretty good at those shots from the point. They'll elect to play it back. They'll take their time, find that far side. JC, just like you were talking about, they're able to spread out. They're creating so much space for themselves right now. That open on the wing. Shot, another save from Madison King. As Blewater looks to get set up again. They've got 40 seconds left. Shot on net. Madison King able to connect with it. She's using that glove. They're on that glove side. She'll say, I will absolutely take advantage of that as they're back at the point now. One-timer. Open cage. And Kitchener able to get it out of that dangerous area. They had Blewater Hawk right on their toes in front of Madison King. And now they'll chase it down, try to kill off some more time. That's Binning. April Reiner picks it up. She's in all alone. Save from Jordan Sladix. Oh, wow. That's so incredible for Jordan Sladix to be able to maintain that composure. She has April Reiner.
We're going to take a look at that replay. Number 4 from Kitchener just absolutely winning the speed race to get a good shot on the Blewater Hawks goaltender. What a phenomenal play. This is why we love women's hockey, because speed and the physicality is amazing, and even if you're on a penalty kill, you never know what's going to happen.
You never know what's going to happen. Credit to April Reiner for chasing that down. And of course, Jordan Sladek shutting the door. Blewater now brings it over the blue line. Looks like we will actually get another penalty here. It'll be Blewater.
Looks like it was interference. The ref's going to award it to the Kitchener team and Blewater team. Should be some 5-on-5. Oh no, just the Blewater player going to the bench. So now it's nice to see these refs are calling an even game, even penalties. So now Blewater will be on the penalty kill. Kitchener will be on the power play. Again, very nice to see each other's dynamics and get to learn each other as a team, see what each other's special teams are like. We saw Blewater play a phenomenal power play. Now we're going to take a look at what Kitchener's power play is like.
And that's McKenna Krulicki, the forward, who gets that penalty. So she'll sit for 2 as Kitchener maintains it at the blue line. There's having a lot of pressure there from Blewater. Maya Hadid making sure that pressure stays tight as they end up clearing the zone. They're able to get a change, some fresh legs for this penalty kill. Kitchener still has a minute 38 on their power play. They'll look to capitalize. This is Kramer brings it up over. Will she elect? Okay, bring it behind the net. Up at the blue line now. They'll play that far pass over. That was Samantha Snyder, just not low enough to be able to connect with that. Scrum now in the corner between Kitchener and Blewater. They'll try and battle for that. That's Samantha Snyder again, alongside Caitlin Kramer, trying to battle for that puck, and it's blown down.
We're going to take another good look at that penalty drawn by Krulicki from Blewater Hawks. Here down in your bottom left, see Blewater skating with the puck far up the ice, and just to the bottom left there, you can see Krulicki, a slight interference call on the Kitchener Ranger team as we head back into the Blewater zone for a face-off.
Minute, 5 seconds left to go in this power play for KW Rangers. They will play it cross-ice pass there from Avery Thurston, the assistant captain. She's looking for it to get back, and she's got Bell right on her right side at the point. Shot, that's blocked, couldn't get through, as Blewater will be able to clear it and again be able to get some fresh legs out there, managing to clear the puck and at least kill about 20 seconds on this power play. Kitchener trying now, maybe their last attempt to be able to capitalize on the power play. April Reiner brings it behind the net. She's looking for that centering pass. Blewater able to try and clear it, but not quite. Stopped at the blue line. Plenty of physical play that we can see here. Blewater trying to get their sticks on it, and they will clear it. There's 11 seconds to go as they chase it down. Blewater able to try and chase that one down, and that will do it for the power play, as we'll see Krulicki come back out on the ice now. Even strength here. Assistant captain. Oh, she had Thurston had her girl picked right at the center ice, and puck went just under her stick.
We saw there Blewater having a very offensive penalty kill. Kitchener team not allowing too much to get through onto the Blewater goaltender as we head back into Kitchener zone for the face-off.
Pretty even-paced game here as we see both sides being able to have a shot at the power play. Both goalies also going head-to-head, already coming up with big saves. Kitchener plays it behind the net. That's Maren Broderick who will elect to play it up. And now Kitchener, they'll bring it up that far left side. Bumped a little bit at the blue line, lose control of the puck. Blewater trying to maintain possession. They'll get it in that far right side. Blewater able to bounce it ahead. And that is Tegan McDonald who breaks it up for the Kitchener Rangers. Careful not to go offside. They'll elect to play it back. They had just one winger over the blue line there, so they had to take their time and reset a little bit as Blewater looks to get set up. Battle in front of Blewater bench. Trying to get it over that blue line. That's Kate Foster for the KW Rangers. Blewater now able to get by her man, no problem. Oh, looks like the ref stops things up just barely. Sometimes that happens. Blewater now, centering pass for Batram. She plays it up along the left side, elects to dump it in. Looks like it ends up in the Kitchener bench.
So we will take another offside just outside of the Kitchener zone. Captain Clara Chisholm is going to be taking the face-off for Blewater here as they hope to generate another scoring opportunity as they head into Kitchener zone.
Plenty of strong battles from both sides. Snyder plays it over, and Blewater couldn't keep it in at the blue line, so they'll have to clear out. A little bit of extracurricular now. Good battles happening along that far board. Blewater bringing it up now center ice. She gets around her man, keeps it on her backhand. All tied up now as they manage to get into the corner. That's Faith Benny trying to get things out of there for KW. KW comes up with it. They'll come along that far left side, elect to bring it now into the center. They'll come up with some serious speed. That's Alexandra Holmes with that speed that we just saw. Blewater able to bring it up now. They'll elect to dump it in. Right behind Madison King, gets stuck in the net a little bit. She'll get it out. She'll take care of business. And KW, they behind the net with Blewater. Plenty of battles that we've seen. Opportunity for Blewater now. Puck gets centered out. Madison King having to track that down in plenty of traffic. She got her left pad on it. I'm not quite sure how she saw that. There was plenty of bodies in front of her, but she took care of business. Kitchener now. Assistant captain April Reiner. Blewater. They can catch KW on a little bit of a break there. Caitlin Kramer will chase it down. Blewater able to play it up. They'll elect to dump it in and get some more fresh legs out. Blewater keeping that pressure up pretty tight through this first period so far. They'll clear the zone, but then dump it in again. Madison King plays it back for her defenseman. And the puck comes the opposite way, but they tried to clear it. Plenty of pressure from Blewater still. Robin Story able to be up there. She takes control of the puck, and it's going to be Batram who chases it down. I should note it's Olivia Batram, her twin sister's also on this team, number 8 Molly Batram. And we will see another penalty. Looks like KW will be headed to another power play.
Looks like Blewater drawing the penalties. Actually play Batram in the box for the Blewater Hawks. They're going to get another opportunity here to kind of see their penalty kill as well. They've had a very strong penalty kill quite a few minutes ago when they were on the Kitchener was on the power play, and the physicality and the offensive power play seemed to work really well for them. Kitchener, it'll be interesting to see if Kitchener kind of picks up on that and is able to move the puck around the Blewater team as opposed to the Blewater kind of attacking them. So we'll get to take a look at that.
Just over 4 minutes to go here in the first period. KW loses control of it as they try to get things set up. Again, Blewater, that's Captain Chisholm with that high pressure. Caitlin Kramer, captain against captain right now. Oh, she'll get a stick in the legs of Chisholm. Caitlin Kramer's gonna be able to go to the box now. Wasn't long for that KW power play.
I just love it. You can hear the fans of the crowd going crazy for that battle. They just love to see it. Captain on captain action is definitely fun to watch. You know, both Chisholm and the other captain for the Kitchener team kind of fighting for their teams, winning that battle on the puck. So now we're 4-on-4 hockey for 2 minutes here.
A little bit of potential frustration from Kramer there. She knew that she got her stick in between the legs of Chisholm and what that would mean as she sits for 2 minutes. And Blewater now loves to play it up. Incredible stick handling to get around a couple defensemen there. Centering pass, Madison King comes up big, and she denies the Blewater Hawks of an opportunity to be able to capitalize on that.
We're going to take a look here at a really good scoring opportunity from Blewater here on even teams. really good opportunity from the defense. You know, we've noticed Blewater loves to do that. They love to bring the puck back to the D, get that shot on net, and have their forwards rush the net and hopefully get that rebound opportunity from King.
4-on-4 now for the next minute, just over a minute. Blewater centering pass right at center ice. That's McKenna Krulicki who tries to get it over and go in, and now Detloff will try to dump it. Detloff gets it again. She'll bring it up the right side. Try and swoop around her man in Marin Broderick. Marin decides to play it up to her winger. Tegan McDonald on that. Blewater now gaining control. Still 4-on-4 here with just under 3 minutes to go in the first period. Blewater dumps it in. Just a few moments, we will see some 5-on-4 for Blewater as that puck is iced, and we'll have a face-off at the other end.
Blewater moving back into Kitchener's zone to take the face-off here. 4-on-4 play. It's always fun to see some special teams, and we haven't had a lot of icing calls due to the hybrid icing that the Ontario Women's Hockey League runs, which I think is very effective. It allows for a lot more flow kind of hockey, which is nice to see.
It's a good point, especially when you just get going and whistle always slows things down. You're able to really get a nice pace to the game, which is definitely what we're seeing here as Blewater now on the 5-on-4. They'll try and capitalize. As you'll see, she comes out of the box, and Blewater trying to get things going within the next 15 seconds. That's Maya Habib who chase it down behind the net. Maya Habib has it now. She'll try and center it. There we go. First one's on the board. Incredible for the Blewater Hawks. That number 14, Robin Story, right on the doorstep. 1-0 Blewater.
Not to mention, it's Robin Story's story of the player of the game tonight. So she must be absolutely thrilled to get the first goal on the board for the Blewater Hawks tonight. That's got to feel good. And your player of the game, her whole family's out here to watch her tonight, so it's very exciting for her.
Incredible feature, and they are able to capitalize on that power play. Huge also to go up 1-0 with just under 2 minutes to go in this first period. Maya Habib able to find that centering pass from behind the net. Robin Story just waiting there on the doorstep. Blewater trying to do it again. Taken away by Kitchener. Battle right at the blue line. They're taken down. That was Alexandra Holmes who tried to make things happen for the KW Rangers. Blewater stopping that, making sure it doesn't happen. KW trying again. Lots of traffic out in front. This is Bell now. She'll play it around and fire it on ice just wide. Plenty of action for Krulicki now. We've seen it on both ends. Blewater trying to clear the zone. Got a minute 13 left to go in this first period here at the Gemini Sportsplex. You'll see Murphy try to play it up. She's gathering some speed. She plays it back. Hill Parody finds a centering pass. Bouncing puck there. As you see, Blewater's chasing it down. For just a moment, Madison King had to track that puck down after it was fired on, right on.
We've seen so much speed in both of these teams, so much back and forth, up and down the ice. This is where their conditioning is going to come in handy. We've seen it's in the Kitchener zone, back to the Blewater zone. So it's been a fairly equal gameplay so far this game.
Kitchener chasing down that puck in their zone. They'll elect to play it back and forth. Stolen by Blewater, centering pass. Open cage, they score! Back-to-back goals for the Blewater Hawks.
If I'm not mistaken, we're going to take a look at that goal there. Put in by Captain Clara Chisholm for the Blewater Hawks team. These girls get so excited when they score a goal. I don't know if you caught Robin Story's celebration there. That was phenomenal. All the fans were going crazy. It was amazing.
It's so nice from our view. We're sitting in front of so many of the parents. They're jumping up and down, and plenty of excitement as Caitlin Kramer brings it all the way around, not able to keep it in the zone, but she'll find her winger on that far right side. Blewater now with some momentum. 2 back-to-back goals. That centering pass. You were right, that was Captain Chisholm who was able to take advantage of that. Kitchener chases it down. Actually, that will be the end of the first period here at the Gemini Sportsplex. Blewater up by 2 over the KW Rangers. We will take a break and be back with more right here on Rogers TV.
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Night's action on Rogers TV.
I'm sure right now a lot of you feel like you aren't able to be who you truly are.
What's most important, more important than everybody else knowing who you are, is that you know who you are.
As a young person, time moves slower for you. And just know that things will get better.
It Gets Better Canada is a registered Canadian charity with a focus on uplifting our queer youth through the power of digital storytelling.
As a Two-Spirit person, I use they, them pronouns, but that's not the case for every Two-Spirit person.
There are so many voices out there that we didn't have 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
No matter what your mind tells you, you really are perfect the way you are, so stop beating yourself up so much.
I'm gonna be a boy in a dress, because why not?
Your identity is explosive.
We all have our unique journeys, but one thing that connects us all is the desire to be happy, the desire to celebrate being our authentic selves.
You're watching Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the inaugural broadcast of the OWHA. Paige Martin alongside JC Solomon. JC, we talked about right at the beginning of this game just how excited we have been for this broadcast. And we've been watching both on the ice and off with the parents and the crowd of the energy of this building. And it's clear that everyone here is just as excited as we are.
Absolutely. You know, you can tell from the moment that these incredible ladies stepped on the ice, the energy, the parents, the fans is just awesome. They're cheering them on constantly throughout the entirety of the game. And we've seen a lot of back and forth throughout the game. And when Blewater scored both of those goals, you could just hear their supporters in the crowd, which is really phenomenal to see.
And we'll get to those goals in just a couple minutes. I want to talk about the pace of this game. You brought it up right there in terms of as soon as that puck was dropped, that opening face-off, the pace was quick. It was we saw a lot, especially through the first 10 minutes of that first period, a lot of back and forth, a lot of even pace. These teams trying to scope each other out and really kind of match one another.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of back and forth, a lot of speed as well from these teams. You know, the forward gets, or whoever is rushing up, gets a little bit ahead on that defense. They have that one-on-one with the goaltender, which we saw quite a few times in that period. So speed is definitely a good factor for both of these teams. A lot of back and forth, especially with the two captains. That was super fun to watch for everyone as well. So yeah, it's been a very good game so far, I would say.
So much talent on the ice that we've already seen. I want to focus a little bit on the goaltenders. Absolutely, between the KW Rangers, they have Madison King, number 39 in net, and then for Blewater, they've got Jordan Sladix, number 84. And for a long time there, we were seeing, you know, Kitchener would really pick up the pace and really be heavy on Sladix, and then the opposite. Blewater would really pick up the pace, be really heavy on King. How important is it for those girls to really be standing tall for their team?
Absolutely. It's a key factor to have good goaltending, as well as, we said Taya Curry for Blewater. She's not in net tonight, but, both teams have a very strong goaltender behind them. And it's very important because, you give off those rebounds. You got to have those defense as well to kind of back your goaltender up, and you need that support. So it's just a matter of, Blewater was really, really pummeling King with a lot of shots. And sometimes it's hard to stop those when you give off so many rebounds. But both goaltenders have been playing absolutely phenomenal tonight as well.
We're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll be able to relive those 2 goals that we saw right through that first period. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in just a couple minutes.
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Monday.
Hi, I'm Julie. I'm the manager of Impact Consulting at Pillar Nonprofit Network, and I'm this week's guest on Pollinating Purpose.
I'm Jennifer Slay, the host of What's Up London. Join me each week as I meet Londoners who are doing extraordinary things and helping to make the city a better place to live. Watch What's Up London Mondays only on Rogers TV.
This time of year, waterfowl hunters are out, and we encourage them to come out and enjoy their sport. We want them to be safe as well. This time of year, the water is cold and the air is cold, so it's very important to have all your safety gear, have a plan, and let somebody know the plan and when you're going to be back. Always carry a cell phone fully charged and wear your life jacket. Hunters can hunt 30 minutes after sunset. But as soon as the sun goes down, when you're out on a boat, you have to have your navigational lights on when operating. We want to see people out here with their lights on so they can avoid a collision with other hunters. When you're out hunting, it's your obligation to know the rules and the regulations. For more information and to find these regulations, visit the ontario.ca website.
October 5th, 2014, my daughter was hit by a train. She was walking along the sides of the tracks, and it shattered her world.
You're watching Rogers TV, London.
Welcome back to OWHA Hockey here on Rogers TV. Paige Martin alongside JC Solomon. JC, we saw 2 quick goals from the Blewater Hawks right at the end of the first period, back to back really. We're going to actually take another look at them and relive the glory from the Blewater Hawks.
First goal from the Blewater Hawks coming around. Robin Story put it up top right where your mom likes to keep the peanut butter, and we saw a phenomenal celebration from her as we go into our second goal as well. Captain Claire Chisholm gets the rebound off a King, puts it in the back of the Kitchener's goaltender. That was a phenomenal, building momentum for the Blewater team as well. 2 back-to-back goals. That's got to be a good feeling heading into the second period for them as they're on break.
We talked about how many shots Madison King was able to stop throughout that first period, and that one you saw she just got a little bit too far out of the crease, left that open cage for Chisholm to be able to capitalize on. We want to relive one moment in particular that I think was both of our favorite moments from that first period, and it was the first goal, Selly.
We're going to take a look back here. Stories, player of the game tonight. Phenomenal celebration. I'm going to go ahead and award that one of the best hockey celebrations I've ever seen. It's definitely a highlight of the night so far.
And you and I, we watch a lot of hockey, so I think that is definitely an honest comment to be able to make. Well, we are going to take a quick break here and be back with more right here on Rogers TV.
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
tonight's action on Rogers TV.
Hi everyone, my name's Ranger M. I love to knowledge share, and that's just what I'm going to do with you. So come on, let's go learn with Ranger M.
The London 55 Plus Games are held in the winter and summer each year. The Games offer an opportunity for seniors to participate in more than 30 sports and social games. The Winter Games, held in November, will include badminton, squash, pickleball, volleyball, billiards, darts, cribbage, euchre, bowling, women's hockey, and skating. Something for everybody. All are welcome. All facilities are accessible. Annual membership is only $15, and most events are free thanks to the support of London Recreation. Join us and bring a friend.
Every year, dozens of Canadians are killed or seriously injured because they take risks around railway tracks. Talk to your loved ones about rail safety. Visit stoptracktragedies.ca.
You're watching Rogers TV.
Welcome back to OWHA Hockey here on Rogers TV. JC, something that we saw throughout that first period, both teams getting a fair shot at the power play as they both took a couple penalties from both sides. What did you notice about their power plays?
Yeah, absolutely. We saw Blewater was able to capitalize on their power play. Blewater very offensive on both their power play and penalty killing. You know, Blewater was able to have a lot of puck movement in the Kitchener zone. We saw we like to stretch that wide D over to the side, get that puck out there, and then get that shot onto King and have the forwards rush the net to kind of get those rebounds. On Kitchener's power play, we didn't really get to see a lot because Blewater played very offensively on their penalty kill, you know, striking their Kitchener team whenever they would get an opportunity to get the puck, and they didn't give them a lot of space to kind of really do much. So we might see a little bit more of Kitchener's power play throughout the rest of the game and see what they can do on it.
We can expect more throughout the second. We'll take a break, be back with more right here on Rogers TV.
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
October 5th, 2014, my daughter was hit by a train. She was walking along the sides of the tracks, and it shattered her world.
I was born and raised in Musqueam First Nation territory by my mother, who spoke Hunkaminam to me. As a child, I ceased using my mother tongue, as to use any language other than English was considered not being Canadian, so I was told. The old people came to me in a dream and reminded me of who I am and where I come from. I have reawakened. My roots are strong, and I'm no longer a silent speaker. My language tells me where I'm from. It defines me and guides me to teach others to learn and understand our culture and traditions. A gift for those in the present and the unborn generations. What was lost is found. What was asleep has awakened. My blood is here, and I am complete. I have returned home.
I'm a homicide detective. I follow the evidence and I arrest bad guys.
Help me put these two animals in prison for the rest of their damn lives.
You started in narcotics. Why'd you make the move here?
Over here, the bad guys are the bad guys.
I had to take an oath in order to get this job. And I try to honor that promise that I made to this city, my co-workers, and the people who live here.
Law and Order, SVU, and Organized Crime. All new episodes every Thursday.
What a night.
On City TV.
to OWHA Hockey here on Rogers TV. We're just about to start the second period here at the Gemini Sportsplex in Strathroy as the Blewater Hawks lead 2-0 over the Lady Rangers. JC, we saw those 2 goals come late in the first period. How much did that change the momentum and the energy of this game?
It changed it completely. We've seen so much back and forth throughout the game, both in Kitchener's zone and in Blewater's zone. The penalties kind of shook that up a bit, with Blewater able to capitalize on their power play on the Rangers, and it gave them a huge momentum going into the second period, scoring 2 back-to-back goals. Kitchener definitely down on themselves a little bit at the end of that first period. They had some time to kind of regroup on that break where the Zamboni was flooding the ice. I'm sure Coach Campbell had a lot to say to them, say, ladies, it's okay, no problem. What's that saying that he told you about?
Hockey is about mistakes. The fewer that we make, the better that we are. And he's very aware that they will make mistakes as well. So gotta love that, patience and understanding from the coach. Kitchener now plays it behind their net. They'll try and clear up Blewater with that tight pressure that they had in the first period, carrying it into the first. McDonald will try to fire it up. Blewater stops it. They keep it in their zone. Kitchener trying to track it down. Now they'll play it behind the net over to this left side as Bazell will carry it up the ice all alone. She's got some speed. She's got a winger on her right, just fans on that shot. She wanted to be able to get a shot to create a rebound for Sladix to work for it a little bit as Blewater takes possession. They'll carry it over now. Try to get things set up here. Blewater trying to get that centering pass. Kitchener intercepts it. Marin Broderick out for the KW Rangers as they play it behind the net. Zlatix ready for whatever about to come here. Blewater intercepts it, couldn't get through to Zlatix. Tried for that centering pass as Blewater will chase it down. She's in all alone now. She'll fire it over, shot on net. That's an easy glove save for Madison King.
First shot on goal on King for Blewater in the second period, gaining that momentum, still having that momentum up on Kitchener a little bit as Captain Claire Chisholm heads in to take the face-off for Blewater.
Face-off to the blocker side of King as Kitchener, they maintain possession here. They'll clear their zone. Again, Blewater with that tight pressure. It's stuck up at center ice. Kitchener chasing it down. DL Hall Parody, she's back behind the net for Blewater. Kitchener keeps it in, shot from the point off the I guess I should say the pad there of Zlatix as assistant captain for Blewater trying to carry it up over. King able to play it back for the Rangers to collect. In the corner now. The battles continue. Turnover. Murphy tried to create something. Murphy will chase it down again after Olivia Minton dumped it in. We should note number 77 for Blewater, Olivia Minton. She's playing double duty tonight. She was just over on the other pad playing and helping out the Blewater Hawks as they have 4D now. Caitlin Kramer with a shot on net. She tries to go and pick that top right corner. You could see the force behind that shot. She misses just wide of that top shelf. Trying to get something started for her team as April Reiner will try and bring it up. That's Lillian Bell now. Turned over, Detloff gives it over to Murphy. Murphy loses a tire on that one. They'll play it back to the point. Back to back, Blewater. Samantha Darby elects to dump it in. Shot on net. Madison King able to play it over. She got her stick on that one, deflect it. In behind the net now. Lillian Bell brings it up the ice. Oh, that was Abigail Kirk who was right at the blue line trying to pick that one off and try to create a breakaway.
We're gonna take a look here at Kramer's shot on net. Just to attest how hard that shot was from Kramer, you can see Blewater's goaltender's glove just bend. So these ladies are not messing around here tonight.
Sladix able to get a piece of that one, had some serious heat on it as She stops that shot, that backhander from Tegan McDonald, who tried to play that one down low. Tegan McDonald in the corner again. Kitchener trying to get something going. Blewater trying to clear the zone. And they'll be successful now as they try and bring it up over that far left side. Casey Bizzell, she's able to track that down for the Rangers. Loose puck, almost dangerous as Captain Chisholm's there, able to take advantage. Centering pass over. Minton plays it. Shot goes wide to the right. Minton on it again. Minton elects to play it down low. She's got her winger in the corner battling with a couple of Rangers. Plenty of corner battles that we've seen tonight. These girls don't take those lightly. Blewater trying to still maintain possession. Centering pass out now. Madison King trying to look for that one. Where did it go? Blewater fires it again. That's deflected out front. Shot from Kelly Hubert. Centering pass, and it was a KW defenseman who was able to take advantage of that. Now we got Alexandra Binning going hard to the net. She's taken out. Not able to take advantage of that opportunity. Hard play by Blewater defenseman. Behind the net of Sladix now. Played in that far right corner. Blewater will dump it in. Icing's waved off. King thought maybe. Played up now. Blewater still pressure tight as they are not allowing KW to clear the zone. Blewater rather wants to be able to get something set up and test Madison King a little bit in the second period. Another battle deep in the corner. Trying to fight for that puck, and they'll blow it down.
We're gonna take a look here at a replay. Heading down the ice, number 17 for KW just hits off number 44, slides, blows a tire, and heads into the boards. That'll be Alexandra Binning from Kitchener, who blew a tire down there, getting a shot off on Blewater.
Murphy able to play it over to her defenseman, trying to get something set up here, as that's McKenna Trulicki in the corner now. She's chased down by Samantha Snyder. Blewater playing it over to the right side. Murphy trying to get that cross ice pass. Kate Foster breaks it up for the Rangers and plays it just a little bit too high.
We've seen a lot of battles from both teams, kind of get the puck getting a little bit stuck. Both teams fighting hard for it. I know they drill this into the girls' head. They say, you got to win the battles, you win the game. That's a common saying from a lot of coaches, so it's very important for these girls to win the battles.
You can tell that both sides know it too, because the play's getting blown down because no one's giving it up. They're like, hey, that's my puck, that's my opportunity. Assistant captain April Reiner now along that right side. She's got Captain Caitlin Craner, tries for that centering pass. Kramer wasn't able to take a hold of it as they'll clear the zone now. KW able to take control, but they've got Detloff right on their back heel. Centering pass now. That's Reiner. She tries to go a little dipsy-do around her man. Loses control of it. Good try by April Reiner for sure. KW can't keep it in. Blewater. They'll have the pressure up top now. That's Lillian Bell out with Broderick. A little bit of a collision there from KW. As we said, JC, things definitely getting physical. These girls aren't afraid to make that part of the game. Another battle ensues. That's Kramer. Blewater able to take possession. KW coming up with it. They'll try to center it right in front, and we will have another penalty.
Blewater heading to the box. Looks like the refs are gonna award a hooking call to number 44, DL Hall Perry. Just as we take a look back at that, can see a quick hook from DL. As we head back into Blewater's zone to take the face-off, we're gonna get to take a look here at Kitchener's power play.
Face-off coming to that glove side of Sladix now. Kitchener able to play it around. Shot on net, wide. They've got someone right in front of the net. Blewater able to clear it. Weren't able to control it at the blue line there. So you'll see Kitchener, play it up now. Start it from their zone. Blewater hard on that check. They don't want Kitchener to be able to set up on this power play. Blewater's already killed 30 seconds of this one. Kitchener now trying to just get control of this puck, slow things down so that they can start playing their game. Avery Thurston brings it behind the net. She'll bring things up, get things started. She's got McDonald on her left. That's intercepted. Captain Chisholm able to interfere and kill another few seconds. We got a minute to go left in this KW Rangers power play. McDonald now gets that feed from Thurston. McDonald able to play it around the defenseman. Blewater able to clear it. They'll come along this left side. She'll keep going as long as she can. That's Maya Habib with that incredible effort right there. Krulicki trying to get her stick on it, making sure that it doesn't get out. Maya Habib going to elect to make a change as Blewater continuing to kill another 30 seconds off this power play. KW's only got 22 more seconds to be able to find the back of the net behind Sladix there. KW coming up along the side. Caitlin Kramer trying to make something happen for her team. She's got Broderick open at the point. She'll elect to send it over to Broderick. Broderick now looks to her right. Right back to Kramer. What a move! She tries to go around, create some space for herself and another opportunity. She's still got the puck on the backhand. And now we're back to even strength. As that's DL Hall Parody. She comes flying out of the box. KW able to take this control shot on net. Sladix able to get her blocker on it, redirect it, make sure that doesn't happen. Broderick loses control, and that's going to be Krulicki now, who takes advantage of the opportunity. Pass there, just missed by her winger. KW will try and catch the Hawks on a change. You see Backstrom out for the Hawks. Shot on net, just wide from KW. Some more physical play. And now Blewater. That's Backstrom trying to really use that speed that she has. We've seen that a couple different times from Backstrom. So impressive. And it's Molly Backstrom who's out there right now. Twin sister Olivia on the team as well. Shot on net. Sladix able to take care of that shot from Samantha Snyder.
We're going to take a look back here at an opportunity Kitchener had on Sladix here. Just dangling through number 94 on Kitchener, generating a phenomenal opportunity from Kitchener. They're just itching, trying to get as many shots as they can off of Sladix and to hopefully capitalize on one of them as well.
Snyder out there trying to keep the face up for KW. Blewater will play it up now, and they'll chase it into the zone. Keely Landers will go hard into the corner, being able to keep the puck exactly where they want it. KW turns it over now. That was Abigail Kirk able to make that happen. We'll see Snyder again with that left shot. She tries to go high, just misses the net there. Sladix ready for that glove save. Seen a couple of chances now from Snyder. Sladix plays it behind the net, coming out just a little bit. Blewater able to get it out of their zone. That's Bazell coming up with it. She's got some speed behind her. McDonald and Binning also out there with Bazell. Play behind Blewater's net now. Blewater wants to get some control. KW putting on a little bit more heat. That's intercepted by McDonald. McDonald carries it over the blue line. She's able to get around her man. Taken down, though. It's going to be a clean hit. As McDonald wasn't able to finish that, we'll get a battle in the corner now. KW coming up with it, trying to get that control. They'll play it back. Blewater will take possession, centering pass there. That's Story. Blewater gets a change in as KW tries to set things up. Blewater now. That's another Snyder on the ice. KW able to play it over to that left corner. Blewater will stop things up, and again, we got Murphy in there for the battle, along with Abigail Kirk. Now Maya Habib will chase it down. 3-on-2 developing. Maya Habib over the blue line. She'll dump it in. They'll chase it down. She's got Murphy on the right side, behind the net. Maya Habib not giving up there. Incredible effort from Maya Habib. Now KW, Abigail Kirk over the blue line. Far wide shot, a little bit of an open cage there that April Reiner tried to take advantage of. And KW putting a little bit more pressure as we see with 7 minutes left to go in the second period.
Kramer heading to the box for Kitchener. They're going to be down their captain, and they're going to be on a power penalty kill going into the rest of the third period. We've seen a lot more back and forth in the second period. As we look, goaltender Taya Curry, we're just taking a look at her. She's been a highlight for this Ontario Women's Hockey League.
Almost a celebrity moment there, as we'll see this Blewater Hawk. It looks like that's Avery Robinson, slow to get to her feet. She's assisted there, though. It looks like she's all right. Hard into the boards. We've been talking about those physical battles, and I mean, that goes to show. Avery Robinson looks like she's all right, getting a little bit of extra attention on the bench. Coach just checking in, making sure that she's okay. Face off now to the glove side of King. Blewater maintaining possession. That's Hannah Grima with it now. Batcham over to that far side. Played down low. That's Detloff. Detloff plays it up. They'll go back and forth just a little bit, looking for that cross ice pass. Ends up bouncing down, and that's Batcham. Molly Batcham's out there. Grima chases it down in that far right corner. Blewater really able to maintain this offensive possession. That cross ice pass through plenty of traffic. A nice look from Grima right there. Hannah Grima saw that. Hard shot through, plenty of battles in the ice, and we will see Broderick take exception to a few extra pokes from the Blewater Hawks.
Blewater fairly dominating in their zone, getting lots of shot opportunities on King. The Kitchener team, Kitchener defense most specifically, getting a little bit frustrated with the Blewater offense. As Coach Dave Landers said, they are a very offensive team, and they do have a lot of key goal scorers, which Kitchener is quickly picking up on.
Minute left to go here in the Blewater power play. Blewater trying to get things going. KW wants to be able to clear the zone. Another hard battle in that close right corner. Two Hawks, and we got only one KW Ranger fighting the good fight. Murphy asking for that puck back. She plays it down low, goes high. Robin Story will try and chase it down. She's got Samantha Darby, and now a break for Kitchener. This is April Reiner, shot on net, blocker save by Sladix, takes care of that one. That was almost dangerous if you have April Reiner on her own. Great job by April Reiner. Blewater now, they've got 18 seconds to be able to take care of this power play. See Murphy plays it along that behind the net, centering pass now. Not able to track it down. Darby now at the point. Elects to play it over to her left side. We'll see a cross ice pass now. Murphy's waiting for it, couldn't get through. KW blocks it. And we're back to even strength. Caitlin Kramer comes out. Another shot on net. Madison King tracking that one down. Lots of traffic. Blewater actually landing on top of Madison King. KW will take advantage. Caitlin Kramer's asking for the puck. Looks like it could have been a potential offside, as April Reiner has Caitlin Kramer asking for it. Shot fired on net. That didn't get through. Blewater blocked that one. And they'll try and make something here as they dump it in. Whistle blown down.
We just saw Kitchener kill off that penalty. Kramer very anxious to get back on the ice and get one up on Blewater for her team. Blewater, they do a very good job on their power play. We saw them with the umbrella formation down in Kitchener's zone as they stretch those two players wide of the hash marks, and we've seen them do a very good job. They're a very good passing team. Now we're back to even strength down in Blewater's zone.
We've got the game's 2 goal scorers out on the ice now. Bluewater's Robin Story as well as captain Clara Chisholm. Kitchener now able to play along that far right side, tried to center it. Bluewater's there instead, taken down behind the net. We'll have a penalty on this play. A little bit of retaliation from Blewater there. She already knew she was going to the box. She'll escort herself, but tensions are rising here.
Looks like the refs got both girls, Landers and Alexandra Binning from Kitchener as well. We're going to see what the call is going to be here. It looks like a little bit of extracurriculars from Landers on that play, a little bit of headshot with the stick. So we'll see what the refs call will be on that. Looks like 2 Blewater girls are actually in the box. We are gonna have a 5-on-4 power play for the Rangers.
KW looking to get set up here as they have the advantage. They'll play it down low. They score! KW on the board with 3 minutes to go in this second period, taking quick advantage of that power play opportunity.
We're gonna take a quick look at that replay from Bell over to number 13. Phenomenal low glove shot from the Kitchener Ranger team, able to capitalize on that power play. They've been itching for this one all game. Most dangerous lead in hockey, 2-goal lead. Kitchener got one up on the Blewater Hawks. Now it is a 2-1 game.
We'll see now. KW continue on the power play. That goal happening right off the faceoff. You got to think that that's just how Coach Chad Campbell drew it up. They were able to go tape to tape, right to the back of the net. We got our goal scorer out. She's behind the back of the net. She'll elect. She's trying to do something fancy, trying to center it. Blewater takes advantage. They'll carry it up the ice now, trying to kill some time. That's Hannah Grima who elects to dump it in. Oh. And Batram is taken out hard on the play.
Looks like Kramer will be back, heading back to the box. She wasn't out for too long before she sent back. This is turning into a very physical hockey game. The refs are calling these penalties to try to get good control of it as we took a look at that replay. Kramer, a little bit of body check action going on against the Blewater team as we head back into the Kitchener zone for the face-off.
I don't know about you, JC, but I really wouldn't want to mess with any of these girls, how physical this game is.
Absolutely not. If I was on the ice, I'd be like, please don't hit me. Here's the puck.
You can have it.
You can have it. It's all yours.
Blewater now able to make a move around her man. She carries it up the ice. Another move. That was Batram able to take advantage of that. Molly Batram dancing around a couple KW Rangers now, as KW will come up the ice. And Thurston's going hard to the net. That'll be Snyder, who's got it at the top of the point. Tough battle with Detloff. Detloff comes up successful. She'll get some speed. She's being chased down. She'll take a shot far right. The physicality continues. Another penalty that we're going to see.
Looks like we're going to get some misconduct from number 14. April Reiner heading to the box. Kitchener's got two of their top players in the box as we take a look back at that shot on net from Blewater, number 88, and then over with a hit. A lot of penalties. We see Captain Clara Chisholm talking to the ref. They're handing out a lot of misconduct. These teams, this is the first time they're playing each other this season. Can see a bit of a rivalry starting here tonight.
Incredible. You wouldn't think that it's the first time they've seen one another, but they're really right in a good script. Quick shot on net. That goes almost to the roof of this Sportsplex. And we'll get another face-off to the glove side of King. JC, we got plenty. We got 5 players in the box now, 2 for Blewater and 3 for the Rangers.
They're gonna have to start making those penalty boxes a little bit bigger. They keep this up.
Need an expansion. Grima now. She elects to play it over. We've got a 4-on-3 for the next 10 seconds. Blewater with that advantage. They'll carry it over the blue line. Careful not to go offside. They'll play it back out the zone. Chisholm now. She'll look at what her options are. She can play it back, cross ice. She's got Grima waiting there. Grima's got a good shot. See Blewater's in the crease of King. Doesn't bother her much though. She's remained steady, especially through this second period. Grima over now. Grima shot on net. King stops it up. Able to control things here.
We see Keely Landers rejoin us, as well as number 17, OWHA Kitchener, rejoin the game. It's going to be a 5-on-3 for the Blewater Hawks for the last minute and a half of play here in the second period. Just kidding, Keely Landers is back in the box. I believe she was awarded 2 penalties.
Oh,
I want to say. And then she had to go back to serve the second one. Blewater wins the draw.
5-on-3 now. Murphy, cross-ice pass. Look at their options. They got plenty of traffic out front. Can't control it. They'll maintain control now. That's Darby. Able to play it over. Chisholm brings it up over the blue line. Chisholm on that far left side. Drop pass. Shot that's deflected high. It'll hit the mesh and blown down.
We can tell just there's a lot more stop and start play, a lot more whistles. In the first period, there's a lot more flow to the game, and now the play's constantly being stopped by penalties and shots going over and out of play and that sort of thing. A little bit of disruption of the play so far.
A little bit of a different energy that we've seen. That quick pace has continued. That close corner now. As you'll see, that's Kelly Hubert who plays it behind the net. Oh, and it's stopped up there by Darby. She's able to keep it in, but Kitchener maintains control. That'll be Holmes who's chasing it down for KW. Blewater now. Looking to get something set up. They'll play it over to Story. Story with that cross-ice pass. She finds her man. There we go. Murphy's taken down on the plate. Goes hard into the boards there. Detloff now on the right side. Tries to put it through the legs of KW. Unsuccessful there. Caught in the skates. Hubert chases it down on that left side. We'll see that KW penalty finish. We're back to even strength with 10 seconds to go. Detloff. Maybe one more shot on net, as we'll see Krulicki try and wind around. She's got just a couple seconds, and that makes it the end of the second period here at the Gemini Sportsplex. Score now 2-1, Blewater leads. You're watching OWHA hockey here on Rogers TV.
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Bipolar disorder.
Substance addiction. Bulimia. OCD. Want to swap?
1 in 2. A flip of a coin. That's the same chance we'll experience a mental illness by the time we're 40. $1 a day can help change those odds.
I don't care what the law is. I will never be a slave. That word, I hate it. It rests on my tongue like rot.
Peter, how does it feel to get paid for your work?
There are rumors freedom's coming for us all.
Freedom, you know that's all I want.
Chloe, careful. Real men would rather sell you across the river to America than let you go free.
Then I'll run. I've run before. Maybe this time for good.
Just get her into a boat. No! Chloe? Chloe, no!
Word of Chloe Cooley's resistance led to Canada's first legislation limiting slavery. After 200 years, slavery was abolished in Canada in 1834.
Night's action on Rogers TV.
You're watching Rogers TV.
OWHA Hockey here on Rogers TV. Paige Martin alongside JC Solomon. JC, we talked about the energy of this game. I think we saw quite a shift in that second period.
Absolutely, we did. We saw it in the first period, fast-paced game, a lot of back-and-forth hockey. Now in the second period, we're seeing a lot of stops and starts, a lot of pucks going out of play, a lot of penalties, a lot of teams, both teams going on special teams. It was a bit of a party in the penalty box, I guess you could say, for the second period.
Might have to do some renovations to those penalty boxes for sure. At one point, there was 5 different players serving a penalty. We talk about, just how physical this game has gotten. We saw a glimpse of it through that first period. It's the first time that these guys are facing one another, and we are already seeing just how physical it can get. How important is it for that to be an aspect of this game?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you haven't seen each other yet, and so now we see from all of these penalties a huge rivalry starting, which is exciting when you go to play each other, and I think they face off against each other 3 times this season. So we can see it's going to be the best of 3 games. These teams are going to have a rivalry for 3 games, and whoever gets the best of 3 is going to win that rivalry for this season.
We were able to see KW get on the board. They scored a power play goal, which we'll be able to take a look at when we come back from break. We'll see you soon.
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Jeff from Chillin' and Grillin' with Jeff. We're back for season 3. We've had the opportunity to see some great backyards and have some great barbecue. Join us, Chillin' and Grillin' with Jeff.
I'm Mike Jack. I've broken multiple world records for eating some of the world's hottest peppers. Now, I'm challenging London restaurants to make some of the world's hottest food. Watch Jack Up the Heat Mondays at 5:30.
Hi, I'm Dan Mailer. I'm the host of London Lights, the show where we talk about notable Londoners who have made a big mark, big impact on the world of music, entertainment, sports, politics.
Your mouth can do a lot of amazing things. And your mouth can save a life.
Hi, I'm Tom Wong. I'm just one of close to 1,000 Canadians in search of a stem cell match. We need your help.
A simple swab is all you need to register on the National Stem Cell Database. You could be the one to save a life. Find the hero in you.
Watching hockey just got a power play with NHL Center Ice and Super Sports Pack. With up to 37 out-of-market NHL games a week, you'll always catch your favorite team no matter where you live. Whether it's big matchups you're looking for or following your top fantasy picks, it's all here. NHL Center Ice, part of the Rogers Super Sports Pack. All this for only $35.95 a month. Order through your remote on Channel 450 or call 1-888-ROGERS-1 today.
You're watching Rogers TV, London.
OWHA hockey here on Rogers TV. It's a 2-1 game here in the Gemini Sportsplex as Blewater leads by 1 over the KW Rangers. JC, let's relive those 3 goals that we have seen this evening.
We're going to start off in the first period here. Blewater's Story putting up 1 on the board with a fantastic celebration here for the Blewater Hawks. They carry that momentum. Shortly after, Captain Clara Chisholm finds the back of the net on King and puts another one up for the Blewater Hawks as we head into the second period, where Kitchener capitalizes on a power play goal. We see number 13 just find the sweet spot there on Blewater's goaltender. All 3 phenomenal games, 2 power play goals, special teams, both teams capitalizing on their power play, which is really good to see.
We've seen both Sladix and King be really strong, and you really got to hand it to King. You know, those 2 quick, almost back-to-back goals that Blewater was able to score. She's able to stand tall and not let any pass her through that second period. We'll take a break, be back with more right here on Rogers TV.
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Night's action on Rogers TV.
Heartbeat of Mother Earth, I feel you and embrace your warmth. I see you dancing through the trees. Your song floats on the summer breeze. Community, we come together. We are the voice of our ancestors. Thankful for how much you bless us. Feel the thunder in the drum. All our voices sing as one. Feel the power, feel the pride. Feel the drumbeat deep inside. Feel the boom, feel the bass. Let's let go of time and space. It'll make you dance, it'll make you sing. OWHA gun, Wadok Shin. The drum will lead you, take you far. Always remember who you are.
Sometimes, for a wish to come true, it takes a kingdom, because together we're stronger. Tied tight, united we stand, in honor of one child's wish, to fuel the fire that will grant many more. Join the kingdom.
Welcome back to OWHA Hockey here on Rogers TV. Paige Martin alongside JC Solomon coming to you live from the Gemini Sportsplex in Strathroy as the puck is now down for the third period here. Blewater leads by 1 over the KW Rangers. Bound to be a tight third period as KW tries to make it an even game. We've seen such a quick pace and physical game so far this third period. Bound to be a good one. Blewater trying to clear the zone. She's taken out hard there. She was taken out by Captain Avery Thurston, who will actually now head to the box.
Keely Landers just stepping out of the box. Kitchener going into the box. It's a constant revolving door of people, players in and out of the box. We saw it a lot in the second period. Looks like it's starting to continue into the third period already. Off to an early start. As we take a look at that replay at the top right, you'll see just body check from number 4 on Kitchener. Refs are not going to let these players away with too much in the third period.
Abigail Kirk trying to kill off some time at the top of the penalty now. She's got Snyder in with her. Snyder exchanging a couple leggies with Murphy there. Backhander from KW. goes wide of the net. Blewater look to get things going on this power play. You're right, JC, it's just been back and forth between who's been in the box, who's been in the box in the same time. Haven't seen even strength in this hockey game for a while. Murphy now, she's got Chisholm on the right side. Hubert on her left. Hubert will chase it down alongside Murphy. Murphy goes hard into the boards, trying to chase that one down. KW, they clear that. Zlatics will go behind the net and play that one out for her teammates as they collect themselves. Got Alexandra Holmes up high, putting that pressure on. She gets her stick on it, deflects that pass. Turnover now. Dangerous area. That was Jacqueline Hatinga able to get her stick on it, but Zlatics comes up big with what could have been a very, very big opportunity for the Rangers. Blewater now, they've got 30 seconds to make things happen. KW doing a phenomenal job on this penalty kill, making sure that Blewater doesn't extend their lead to 3. That's Batcham out, Olivia Batcham. They'll chase it down into the ice, and actually, correct myself here, it looks like the twins are out together. The Batcham twins are out. Gotta think that maybe they can exchange some twin telepathy. Far right side centering pass. That's Kitchener able to intercept that. Penalty is now over. We are back to even strength here at the Sportsplex as Blewater will try to play that up high. Over the blue line now, played behind, that's Broderick. Able to collect it, slips up, and that's Maya Habib on it. Broderick now playing it over to Casey Bezel. Centering pass there for Blewater. Maya Habib not able to get her stick on it. She's out there with Olivia Detloff. Kitchener now. This is Alexandra Binning. She'll try and make a move. She's taken out. Good play by Blewater to make sure that that didn't happen. They'll go hard into the boards. They had some speed behind them. Detloff, she'll chase that down, Maya Habib. They'll elect for a change. KW also getting some fresh legs on the ice, some extracurriculars in front of the KW bench. As Blewater tries to get something set up, a little bit of back and forth in the middle of the ice. Chisholm, she'll play it up, get some speed behind her. Sends it back, shot from the point, pad saved by King. Another shot from the point from DL Hall-Parody, she goes wide. Played behind the net, they'll look for that centering pass. That's a dangerous spot for Blewater. They've really capitalized. Their 2 goals have come from being able to play it behind the net and center out to whoever is waiting on the doorstep. Pressure continues. Caitlin Kramer able to try and take it away. She's high on that forecheck. Caitlin Kramer able to be successful. Centering pass now. Stick over to Avery Thurston. Abigail Kirk trying for that centering pass. April Reiner's also out there. Blewater, they're able to clear it. And that'll be icing.
An icing call heading back into Blewater territory. Player of the game, Robin Story, is out on the ice. First goal scorer of the game with a phenomenal celebration that we've noted as the play of the game so far.
Put a big smile on the face of these 2 broadcasters, that's for sure. Another battle right at the point. KW able to maintain control. They play it outside their zone, but Lillian Bell will take it now. She'll play it along the boards. Snyder goes hard. Chisholm chasing it down. She's got Darby on her left. Battle now in that close right corner. Blewater playing it out.
The puck is whistled down, heading back into Blewater territory once again. We have Story out there, Darby out there, Hannah Grima out there as well. Captain Claire Chisholm's going to be taking the face-off for the Blewater Hawks.
Blewater plays it behind. That's Grima. She'll be able to take on a few KW Rangers, try to power through that. KW turns it over. That's Casey Bezel. As there's another battle in the corner. Chisholm able to center that for Story. Story trying to get it out of the zone. Ends up playing it over the boards.
I know they don't call it here, but in the University League hockey, whenever the puck goes out of zone, they actually award a penalty to the players.
Delay of game.
Delay of game.
Kitchener now. Stopped up by Hannah Grima. That's Bell going hard behind the net. Blewater clearing it. Backroom will chase it down. Blewater collects it again. Blewater trying to maintain control. They'll center it. Backroom with a big hit in the middle of the ice. The physicality continues over the blue line. McDonald gives another little poke back. Whatever you can do, I can do better, these guys are saying. Kitchener now playing it over. Avery Robinson will chase it down. She's got Hannah Grima to her left. As you'll see, Maya Habib's back out there with Keely Landers. Also Krulicki. Behind the net now, centering pass. Blewater keeps it in. Kitchener trying to clear the zone. Another battle. We saw Blewater go hard right in that exact same spot in the second period. Had to stop things up, make sure everyone was okay. Kitchener not able to clear it that time, but they do this time. And they've got Caitlin Kramer on it. She's going hard to the net. She's taken out. That's DL Hall Parody, able to make sure that Kitchener's captain does not come up big, but Kitchener, they'll maintain possession. They play it up to the point. Kitchener now walking in, back to the right point, shot on net. That goes wide. They'll play it behind the net, looking for that centering pass. They're trying to see it down. Looks like Caitlin Kramer is cross-checked behind the net. We'll have a KW power play coming up.
Number 71 for Blewater heading to the box. That will be McKenna Krulicki. Again, just another revolving door in the penalty box. You know, think these ladies would have learned their lesson, but they like the physicality. They like to keep it up. As we take a look at that replay here, we can see down in the bottom left corner, Krulicki just takes a little bit of a cross-check to Kramer.
Cross-ice pass now. KW loves that cross-ice pass. As long as they can connect, it works for them. It creates that space. Kramer now shot on net. Zlatic's able to track it down. She got a piece of it. Couldn't quite see where it went. Kramer again. Blocker saved by Zlatic. Thurston's down. She's battling alongside Alexandra Holmes. Whistle blown down. It's another opportunity for them to not give that puck up.
Captain Kramer is a name that we've heard quite a bit throughout this broadcast. She's had lots of shot opportunities. She's definitely been a great leader on the ice for her team. And she's looking for one for this game. She's been looking for one.
You can see it in the energy, the pace that she's setting for her team. Played over to Broderick now. Broderick looks. That's deflected. It goes off the skate. Back to the blue line. Kitchener will have to clear. They'll get things set up again to the skates of Kirk. Broderick brings it over the blue line. She'll battle for that. And Blewater will clear the zone again. KW not able to get set up the way they want to. Snyder coming up that left side, tries to play it off the board. She maintains possession. Little backhand drop pass there. Over to Broderick. Broderick shot on net. Blocker saved by Zlatic. And Blewater clears it. We got 45 more seconds to go in this Blewater penalty kill. That means just a little bit more time. A perfect opportunity that it would be for KW to try and tie things up here midway through the third. Over center ice now, that's Broderick. Broderick trying to dance through. Respect for that, she's a 6'1" defenseman. Able to get that speed. Caitlin Kramer finds her shot. Pad saved by Zlatic. Shuts the door. Kramer's got it on her stick again. She's looking, centering pass. Behind the net now, centering pass again. Rima putting her body on the line, able to block that shot. And Blewater able to clear it. Great hustle. That's going to be Story. Able to clear that and putting her body on the line as well. Able to get that puck out. And that means we are back to even strength here with 10 minutes, just over 10 minutes to go in the third period. Kitchener really putting this pressure on. They know they got to tie things up. Get one past Zlatics. Really change the momentum of this game as they turn it over now. Centering pass. Blewater gets a stick on it. Another shot towards the net. Zlatics really has to be able to keep her eye on that one. A little bit of a bouncing puck. Not sure she was expecting it.
We can see Kitchener starting to not roll their lines as much. We saw Kramer out there just another shift later. Coach Campbell's feeding off of her energy. He keeps putting her back out there because he knows that she is out there to get one here tonight and tie this game up.
When I talked to Coach Campbell this week, he talked about just how poised Caitlin Kramer is and that the girls can always rely on her. She's not the oldest player on the team, but she's got great leadership. That's earned her the C on her sweater as Hubert tries to play it up for Blewater. She's got it behind the net now. Blewater keeps it in at the point. Kitchener will clear. So we'll see Blewater play it around. That's Avery Robinson with some speed. She's really turning the wheels on here. Hubert gets that center ice pass. She'll try and go through. She loses the puck. KW picks it up. And guess who it is? It's Kramer. Kramer taking on 4 Blewater. She goes through. She's taken down. We'll have a penalty on that play. Wow, Caitlin Kramer just trying to dance her way through.
And that's a show. Kramer's hard work. Leave Blewater no choice but to draw a penalty on her as we take a look. Clara Chisholm drawing a hooking call on Caitlin Kramer. She's been a force to be reckoned with on the ice for this Kitchener team. She's been leading them on the ice. It's so evidently clear to us up here in the booth and to all the fans. The Blewater team is definitely looking to shut her down.
Those captains going head-to-head all night tonight. Kramer having no fear, able to split the D that way. She's taken out, but she was still finishing her shot. That puck still got fired towards Zlatics. Kitchener now trying to create something. Goes off the skates. And we'll see them track it down in the corner. Another battle in the corner. Hard check against Hall Parody. And we'll see Blewater be able to try and transition that. Not able to make it happen. KW trying to clear the zone, get things set up again. Almost had a breakaway for Blewater there. That would have been something shorthanded. Kramer fires it over. Picks it up in traffic. Centering pass. Zlatics takes care of business.
Zlatics has had some phenomenal hand-eye coordination throughout this entirety of the game, really utilizing her glove and knowing when to cover the puck in their zone to kind of protect their lead, Blewater's lead in this game. See, Kitchener's got some fresh legs out on the ice.
We've got a minute left in this power play. You see Thurston plays it over to Broderick. Broderick taking a look at her options. Back to Thurston. Thurston has a lot of pressure on her. Cross ice pass to Snyder. Snyder fires it. That's in some traffic. Murphy ends up blocking that and able to get Blewater to clear the zone. As look at Krulicki chasing that puck down, making sure that this penalty is killed with all 33 seconds left to go. And we'll see an icing call here. And it'll go to the other end.
Taking a face-off back in Kitchener's zone. When it gets down to the nitty-gritty, I know we can talk about this probably as it gets closer to, what do you think Campbell's going to do with the goaltender when it gets down to it?
Well, we're coming down to the last just under 7 minutes. You got to think that he's starting to wonder if King will come out. And I mean, he's got some strong forwards. If they can maintain the zone, could be worth a shot taking King out for those few minutes. We'll see Maya Habib able. She's in all alone. Broderick gets back in time. She's got Snyder on her as well. That was dangerous. Maya Habib could have really capitalized on that one. Kitchener now. This Avery Thurston brings it over the line, finds Reiner. April Reiner brings it over. She'll play it down low. Drop pass, backhander. Assistant captain to assistant captain. That's Abigail now. And they'll play it to the far right zone. Snyder over to Thurston. What a setup. Thurston just goes wide. KW able to get organized a little bit, not enough, as we'll see Story clear the zone on that, and that'll be icing.
We've seen these girls phenomenally fight through everything and still get that shot off. We saw it with Habib there, and we've seen it with Kramer multiple times in the Blewater zone. These girls have the grit and the fight to continue in this game and just not give up, which is phenomenal to watch.
Goes to show just how great of skaters they are as well. They aren't really flustered by much. They're able to maintain composure. Bell with the shot on net. That goes high. Zlatic's able to take care of that quite easily. Bell will chase it down. Try to avoid. She'll capitalize on an icing. Looks like we might have a too many men penalty now coming to Blewater.
Can see Coach Dave Landers is not too happy about that call. You don't want to be down a man with just over 6 minutes left in the third period, but I think it's going to be okay. We're going to remain with 5-on-5 play.
So we'll remain at even strength. We hear plenty of contributions around the press box from the fans in front of us. The referee's still speaking with Coach Dave Landers about what happened there. They're nodding, everyone's nodding. It looks like everyone's in agreement. That's always good. So we get to be the final few minutes in the third period here. They try to center it. Blewater clearing pass for KW. No one was there. Now we'll see Murphy. Haley Murphy, also a name. She's played a great game in terms of being able to clear the zone. Caitlin Kramer now trying to create something for KW. 6 minutes left to go in this game. Haley Murphy trying to connect with her assistant captain in Hubert there. Or sorry, that was actually Landers. Not able to connect. As Blewater plays it behind, hard on the check there as the Rangers able to turn it over behind the net. Blewater now. Landers playing it over. That'll actually end up in the bench of the Rangers.
It's like we're gonna take the face-off just outside of the Kitchener zone. We saw their Kitchener just recently on their power play, able to get a little bit more momentum, definitely giving them a lot more confidence heading into Blewater zone, able to toss the puck around a bit between each other and work very well as a team.
McDonald now being challenged by Krulicki. As we'll see Anna Snyder try to control it. Krulicki again takes it, trying to get something set up. She'll play it up to the point. Blewater's got to clear the zone now. Grima takes control. That was Alexandra Binning right on her back, ready to steal that puck. KW have 5 minutes left to tie this game. Blewater. Grima plays it up, puts it in the skates of Detloff. Detloff will chase it down. Blewater remaining, keeping their composure through this one. As we'll see KW try and clear, but Blewater with that high pressure. They want to keep it in the zone, see if they can extend the lead till 2. Kitchener playing it behind, a little bit of action here. Hannah Grima. Hannah Grima will play it back and forth. Story. She's trying to crash the net. Good stick by Madison King. Able to get it out and play it over. We'll see Casey Bazell now. She's stopped up by Maya Habib. Battle right at the blue line. Blewater not letting KW get anything started here. They're getting their sticks on everything, making it impossible for KW to get going. Murphy She's got Habib on her right side. That's broken up. She tried to drag it around her defenseman. Defenseman knew exactly what she was going to do with that. Hard pressure by Abigail Kirk. And we'll see Reiner. She plays at that far right side over to Kirk. Kirk maintains control, able to center it. Centering pass. Nobody there. As now Maya Habib carries it up the left side. She'll elect to dump it in. And Madison King able to get that through her glove. Thurston brings it up the ice now. Blewater able to get a change, and they'll be blown up offside as you see someone's right on the doorstep. Madison King.
One thing to note that King did really well there is she caught the pass, or the shot in her glove, and she remained to play it, which is phenomenal as a goalie to keep the play going, and you don't want to stop. Getting back to that first period, very flow play between the teams.
She wants her team to keep that pace. She doesn't want to stop it up too much. Elects to calm it down and play it for her forward. As we'll see a hard, crossbar right there. We just saw a hard collision in the far right corner. What a shot from Kate Foster. Hit the crossbar, I believe. Kate Foster chases it down now. In behind the net. Kramer's back there. Tough battle. Blewater trying to clear it. KW's got one of their top lines out. Reiner plays it down low. She'll go back to the point. And now we do see it's a 6-on-5. KW has pulled Madison King. KW trying to make sure that Blewater does not take advantage of that empty net. KW has 1 minute, 13 seconds left to try and capitalize. They'll try not to go offside. Bouncing puck disrupted that play. We got 1 minute and 3 seconds left. Almost from Blewater there. Tana Grima shot on net. She goes wide. Blewater trying to get that empty net. Shot from the point. We got a defender trying to take care, make sure that they almost play goalie right now. They don't want Blewater extending this lead. They got plenty of opportunity. Hard check there. KW's got to clear the zone. Caitlin Kramer takes her time, plays it over. Back to Kramer. Grima. She'll send it over to Detloff. She's got Chisholm with her, as well as Batram. Over by the penalty box now. We'll see plenty of action. Blewater just trying to clear the zone, see if they can hit the net in these last 10 seconds as time winds down. Grima's taking a shot. Looks like she's trying to see if they can take advantage of it. KW with all the pressure. It will not be enough. Blewater comes up big. They beat the KW Rangers 2-1 here on home ice. And what a game, as you see plenty of goalie hugs. Well awarded to Slattis.
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Every year, dozens of Canadians are killed or seriously injured because they take risks around railway tracks. Talk to your loved ones about rail safety. Visit stoptracktragedies.ca.
My dad was a railway porter. It was just about the only job a black man could get. But he had big plans for us. Music would be our ticket out of poverty. I knew we couldn't afford that piano, so I practiced twice as hard.
Nice, Daisy. Okay, Oscar, let's hear it.
Turns out, I wasn't half bad. Then I found jazz, or it found me. It wasn't all easy, though. I faced a lot of hate, but I found my stage. They call me the man with 4 hands. Well, I don't know about that, but let's see how far this ticket takes me.
From Montreal to Carnegie Hall and far beyond, Oscar Peterson became one of the most recorded and celebrated jazz musicians of all time.
Most people that are have received treatment for drug use problems are probably going to have a lapse.
Join addictions counselor Dean Anderson for Invisible, Breaking Through the Stigma of Addiction, on Rogers TV.
Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Mario Elia, and I'm the host of a new show here on Rogers TV that we're calling Keeping London Healthy with Dr. Mario. So tune in Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. and we'll see you then.
This is Rogers TV.
Welcome back to OWHA Hockey here on Rogers TV. Paige Martin alongside JC Solomon. JC, we knew that this would be an intense game the first time that these two were facing one another. And I think that it's fair to say that tonight we really had it all. A couple of nice goals, plenty of penalties as well. That was definitely a story throughout the game, that physical aspect. Let's take a look at the 3 stars tonight. In third star, we got Madison King. She had a phenomenal performance. And then on the other end, staring down, Jordan Sladek. She's the second star tonight. And first star, Robin Story. She had the first goal of the game. And like JC and I said, arguably our favorite Sally, maybe our favorite moment of the game as well. But she was excited, and I think, JC, that was really a moment where we saw that energy really level up at the end of the first period.
Absolutely. We saw a complete shift in Blewater's team, and Blewater's momentum just build off of that for the duration of the rest of the game.
And I think, you know, it goes to show the two goalies between Sladek and King really giving it their all, and I think that that's something that really can be highlighted tonight as those goalies able to really stand on their head at some points. And I think that just full marks to them for being able to really be that foundation for their team. And then of course Robin Story being our first star.
Absolutely. I would say it gives that team that extra boost of confidence that they need offensively, knowing that you have a good goaltender like Sladek and King right behind you.
Both teams also play again tomorrow, so they got to quickly be able to collect themselves. I know KW head coach Chad Campbell always says, hey, what happened in the War of 1812? And they say, I don't know, coach, but it's in the past. And that is something that they always talk about. We want to thank you so much for joining us for the inaugural broadcast of OWHA here on Rogers TV. It has been an absolute blast. We'll look forward to seeing you again in December. For now, have a great evening, everybody.
Starbucks on our way home.
He touched tonight. He's all excited. I'm recording right now. Oh. Leave it to you. My honey's being inappropriate again. Yeah, so we were just recording a little bit of footage of wedding ceremony. I never know when you have that on. a wedding ceremony that was following us, and the guy was hanging out his sunroof. So anyway, we'll see if that showed up on here. And if it did, then that's great, because then you'll understand why Shannon was inappropriate. That's too funny. What did you call me? Honey.
Hello, everyone. Welcome again to London Lights. Today on our show, we're going to take a little bit of a darker turn. We typically have a very upbeat type of vibe to our show with laughter and good feelings. But today we're going to take a dark turn. We're going to be talking about the sinister criminal history of London. And my guest today is author of the book Murder City, Michael Arnfield. Michael, welcome to London Lights.
Thanks for having me on, Dan.
It's good to have you. I want to read your bio before we get started and let people know who you are. So Dr. Michael Arnfield is a PhD professor at Western University, where he founded the Cold Case Society, an unsolved crimes think tank that pairs students with forensic subject matter experts. He's also the author of the new book, How to Solve a Cold Case, along with over a dozen of other titles, including Murder City, which details the sordid history of serial killers in London, Ontario. He currently appears as an expert on crime and policing in television series airing on several networks, has previously served as a visiting professor in the United States and Australia, and routinely provides training for police services and forensic associations around the globe. From 1999 to 2014, he was a police officer and a detective with the London Police Service. Again, Michael, welcome. Good to have you here. I knew your father much better than you because he was a Crown Attorney in London, and he and I locked horns many times over the years as I did criminal defense work.
I want to say that as a young constable also, you would have cross-examined me in the late 90s. I do believe you were still in the game then.
Yeah, I think I was. So yeah, it's all part of the process, and criminal trials are quite fascinating. This whole area to me is extremely fascinating. And I found your book to be incredibly fascinating. Here's a picture of it. I picked up my copy at the local library, and I couldn't stop turning the pages. It was just a page turner, and I was enthralled from beginning to end, not only to learn about this incredible dark side of the history of London, Ontario, but again, it is London, Ontario. It's my hometown. And that aspect of it was very fascinating to me. So what got you involved in this line of work?
Well, I would have come on the LPS around the time that Project Angel, which is discussed in the book, which was the first dedicated cold case task force in Ontario, was sort of up and running. And this was spurred by advances in DNA and by the fact that the DNA data bank, the National DNA Data Bank, was going online, and that a number of these historical cases province-wide could be solved now. So as my law enforcement career is beginning, I'm very much aware of the existence of this exciting task force in the background, and ended up getting to know the lead investigators on that task force fairly well. Fast forward 15 years or so, and it turns out that the task force detectives had sought the counsel, had sought the advice of a retired OPP detective inspector named Dennis Alsop. He died sort of during the tail end of my police career, but by then I had already completed a PhD at Western and had started the Cold Case Society. So he was at least sort of collaterally aware of my work. And what he did was he left original source materials, crime scene logs, photos, his original notes, teletypes between he and other police agencies across Ontario, which were all essentially his property to take with him at the time. There's no retention policies then. So he left it in a box for his son to find, and his son knew of my work and turned it over to me. And very rarely in writing a true crime a work of true crime or work of history generally, you get direct access to what we call primary source materials like that. So I'm not writing a book based on reading other people's books and relying on their footnotes and endnotes and research. I have the original artifacts from which I can glean information that has never before been revealed. And I mean, contained in those boxes was remarkable information. The Project Angel investigators sort of scratched the surface, but they more or less just went to meet with him and sort of kick some ideas around. There's stuff in there that ultimately, is unassailable in terms of its importance from both a local history perspective as well as a criminological perspective in terms of what happened in London over that 25 to 30-year period being without precedent.
Well, you've done an incredible job in this book, tying all these facts together and revealing them for the first time to the general public. And I think even watching this show or reading the book or both, Londoners are going to be shocked to find out that sleepy old London, Ontario, tucked between the big smoke of Toronto and Detroit, the forest city, so to speak, has this really dark side to it that most of us were completely unaware of. And these details are revealed in the book. And like I described, I was enthralled by it. I couldn't stop turning the pages. It was so fresh, but also so enlightening. And the tales gave me the creeps. This was a scary time. And I remember being a child during that time. But would you agree with me? And is the thrust of the book that London was the serial killer capital of Canada at the time and perhaps North America?
Based on the available data, that's exactly what we can conclude. I mean, when you look at the fact that there are 6 confirmed and 9 hypothesized serial killers operating either concurrently or consecutively or near consecutively, essentially contemporaneously, as we'd say, over this period, with a population the size that London had, which it grew a little bit during this period. But I mean, the best example I can give is if you were to, on a per capita basis, overlay that same number to a population base of New York City. You'd have about 100 serial killers active in New York City at any given time. And at its maximum, New York is believed to have had 3. London had 9. So wow. You can, the offender to civilian ratio, again, based on reliable data, is not seen anywhere else on the continent or among the G7 as best reliable records are available during that period.
Well, that's incredible. And I think Londoners will just be shocked to hear that. But I remember growing up as a kid in the 1960s, east of Adelaide. I knew there was something ominous going on, even as an innocent young kid. My parents, the newspaper would come in some days and quickly they'd set it aside so that I wouldn't be able to see it. And they would be reporting on some of these stories as they hit the press. And the parents would always be warning, I want you to know, don't take candy from a stranger. Don't take a ride with anybody that might offer you a ride to school. I knew something was going on. And then there were some odd things that happened. A couple times I used to hang out at the Thames River with all my friends. And I remember there's a guy there that exposed himself to us and we all started laughing and ran away, but it wasn't a funny matter. And then another time, one night, families all sitting around the house watching Hockey Night in Canada at around 8 p.m. one night. And there's this frantic knock at the door. And here's this disheveled young lady who'd just been attacked on the front lawn of our rental property in East London. And there were some scary things going on. And I liked how you highlight in the book about how a lot of this starts with something like indecent exposure and then goes on to something more serious.
Yeah, we much better understand now the pathways that sexually motivated offenders, and the vast majority of serial homicide is, of course, sexually motivated, but you don't necessarily begin there. You begin with these gateway behaviors, what are known as preparatory behaviors. And you're right, for years, even when I was a street cop, you could count on the first spring day of every year there'd be at least 3-4 arrests for indecent act in one of the public parks, and it was sort of even then by the late 90s treated as just sort of this is a London sort of local character. We now understand, the literature supports an improved understanding that indecent acts are strongly associated with sadistic behavior, because of course it's the frightening of the person or the alarm that committing that act, usually towards children, causes, and that the person, the offender, is experimenting with the degrees of fear and embarrassment that they can cause, and that this will ultimately only escalate. This is why committing an indecent act very quickly, once the DNA data bank went online, was what we call a secondary DNA offense. Even though there was no direct physical contact, the way there would be with some other sex crimes, the nature of it and the clinical understanding of it, even by that point, made it an offense that, based on the facts in issue, based on the totality of the circumstances, the judge could order that person's sample into the DNA data bank as a convicted offender, knowing full well it will probably turn up at another crime scene some point down the road, and that match needs to be made when and if that time ever arrives.
And I want to come back to the DNA issue in a minute, but if anything about this whole story, there are all these negatives, but there were some positives that came out of it as well. And I'm thinking about the fact that one of the way Londoners responded to this concern about kids and kids being captured and killed was the block parent program. And this was a London invention, correct? And it spread as a safety mechanism across the country.
Yeah, so I mean, necessity is the mother of invention, and the thought was, and London, I guess, culturally was just sort of a place where this could be an experimental program whereby you have, unfortunately, children being pursued by men in cars, children being snatched off the street in the middle of the day in suburban, traditionally low crime areas. But in those same areas, owing to the fact that London was a traditional, socially conservative city, you often have people homemakers home during the middle of the day. So the thought was, by displaying this placard in your window, making it readily visible from the street, a child in distress being pursued could run to that house to seek sanctuary, knowing that there was a housekeeper there was a stay-at-home mom there, and that person would ensure their safety and call the police. So essentially you had these safety outposts sprinkled throughout suburbia, which when we discuss it now sounds actually insane, that this was required in a essentially Main Street Canadian little city. But the idea caught on, and the idea was that your neighbors are the best eyes and ears when it comes to preventing and interdicting crime, and in closing ranks to make sure that predators can't operate undetected in these neighborhoods, which they were for many years before that, because of course, and the case sort of remains the same, is Londoners don't want to talk about what's going on in their backyard, not in unvarnished fashion. It's just not a reality that people are prepared to confront, unfortunately.
Well, kudos to those people in London that not only came up with this idea, but put it into place, and all of the various homes around the city that provided this place of sanctuary. Because again, I remember walking home from school and you'd see that placard in the front window and you knew, okay, if something happens, this is where I can go for safety. So it's quite an innovation, and kudos again to the City of London for that. So listen, we're going to take a quick break. Hang on, viewers. We'll be right back with Professor Michael Arnfield talking about his book, Murder City.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details. Watching hockey just got a power play with NHL Center Ice and Super Sports Pack. With up to 37 out-of-market NHL games a week, you'll always catch your favorite team no matter where you live. Whether it's big matchups you're looking for or following your top fantasy picks, it's all here. NHL Center Ice, part of the Rogers Super Sports Pack. All this for only $35.95 a month. Order through your remote on Channel 450 or call 1-888-ROGERS-1 today.
With clubs, leagues, and courts in every province and territory across Canada, squash is the sport for wall-to-wall fun, fitness, and friendship. From coast to coast to coast. Learn to play and you'll want to do it every day. Squash. Play inside the box.
Night's action on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to London Lights, where we're talking about the incredible book, Murder City. Talking about London during a period of time in the 1960s, 1970s, when essentially we were the serial killer capital of Canada. It's quite a fascinating tale, but it's a true tale. It's not a fairy tale. And Mike, as I read the book, of course, having grown up in London, being so familiar with all the different scenes in the streets that you describe in the book, one of the stories that haunted me was the story about the ongoings or the goings on at Stanley Variety. There's a picture in the book. That's haunting to me because my father he delivered milk for Mark Ayres Dairy, and we used to get in the truck at 5 a.m. and load it up with milk and drive out to Byron from East London. And every day we'd drive by that Stanley Variety. And from the outside, it looked like this quite fascinating, fun place to get candy and other treats. And you reveal in the book that there was some dark goings on in that place. And it was creepy stuff.
Yeah, little is known about the proprietor of that store during that period, other than he had associates who were known to be members of what today would be the trafficking, largely of child pornography. And I mean, even if you drive past that place today or in recent years, I mean, visitors to the city will drive past it and like there's just something ominous and decaying about that. It largely looks as is from that period. The signage is still there and you can just sense that something bad happened there. So these were leads pursued by the investigator, the OPP investigator, who of course, many of these bodies ended up in OPP jurisdiction. But he took great interest in, as did the London detectives he worked with, in what was going on in the basement of that store, which was really sort of a dead drop for stag films, for what would constitute child pornography. We know that the men dropping off these materials or acquiring materials there, hung around there, is what we call in criminology a crime attractor, meaning that is the type of location where known offenders, motivated offenders will know that there are vulnerable victims. There's a stocked pool of victims. There's employees, young employees working alone. There's children going there for candy, like you mentioned. And ultimately, one of the, speaking of Byron, one of the counter attendants there working there part-time, Jacqueline Dunleavy, is last seen locking up there and then found some distance away where she'd been driven and murdered in a very ritualistic fashion. This is one of the more disturbing cases in the book, but all roads lead back in that case, and I believe in some other cases, to that store.
Yeah, very sad tale, and it just again gives you the creeps when you read about it. But there is a hero in this story, from my perspective, and that's the detective that you named. As I read about him, I thought, wow, like this is a guy who was really doing the best he could with the limited resources of crime fighting tools that were available at the time. And he's playing a game of whack-a-mole, so to speak. You know, he hears of one murder, and then as he's starting to work that one, another one pops up, and he's going from place to place trying to solve these crimes. And it wasn't easy given the lack of resources at the time. DNA wasn't available, correct?
No, not for many other decades.
And we didn't have video surveillance like we do now, which is such a key player in solving so many of these crimes. What can you tell me about Detective Alsop?
So he was a intelligence officer in World War II, where you would essentially, like, a code breaker. insofar as Canadians were involved in that type of counterintelligence. Then he came back, joined the OPP, and was originally a forensics officer. So he gathered a lot of, based on the knowledge of the day, training about fingerprinting, patent versus latent impression evidence, all the sort of modern DNA, super scientific stuff that we're accustomed to, but that during the day was stock and trade if you were going to be an effective investigator. And then he sort of diverged from strictly forensics to then working as a regional detective, so the West Region, based out of the London office, or Middlesex Centre office. And what happened was most of the London victims, owing to London's odd geography then and now, in that you sort of have this this outpost city surrounded by rural hinterland. Victims would be acquired in London. The primary crime scene would be in London, but the secondary crime scene or the dump site would be in OPP jurisdiction. So you had dual investigations going on a fair bit. And you equate this with a lot of US cases where we see infamous serial killers killing in one state, dumping the body in another state. So the FBI needs to get involved, or a task force needs to be created. He basically was the task force, a one-man task force piecing together these bodies found in rivers and farmers' fields and other places in his jurisdiction, and then trying to track the final movements of these victims back to London, which is ultimately where they were acquired. And then factor in the third variable, which is that so many of these offenders, and this is in part my explanation offered in the book for why London very quickly became the serial killer capital, is many of the offenders are also not from London. So you have the King's Highway system bringing in offenders from other regions, killing in London, and on their way out of town, they'll pose or dispose of a body in OPP jurisdiction. So you really have this divide and conquer methodology, MO, being used by the offenders that threw a wrench into the investigations, but between some circumstantial evidence gathered by ALSUP and some remarkable preservation of crime scene samples and clothing during this period in London, we've got now strong persons of interest in many of these cases, and we've got DNA samples that have not degraded, that 40, 50 years later, 60 years later in one case, can still be tested today, which means these cases are resolvable.
I can just imagine the personal struggles that he must have gone through as the one-man task force, essentially, knowing that something very bad is happening all around the city, and having his hands tied behind his back in terms of trying to solve these crimes. This is before the internet, of course, and communication between OPP and London, as you point out in the book, would be a challenge. Was he recognized at the time as a hero, or is he really not getting his due until somebody reads your book and finds out more about what he was doing?
Yeah, I mean, by the mid-70s, he's largely chained to a desk in Toronto, and had been sort of promoted out of being able to be boots on the ground and investigate these cases. And whether that was done strategically because he was ruffling feathers, or whether that was just part of his natural career progression. I mean, he's continued to work the cases remotely. So the early, remote working, he's in Toronto at a desk, but he's still delving into files and having errands run in and around London to try to track down people or exhibits or what have you. I mean, at one point he consulted with a theology professor at Huron University College, which is an affiliated college at Western, who was a known expert in demonology, asking for his insight as to whether this was occult activity and whether or not, because of the ritual nature of some of these murders, this was a case of child sacrifice going on in London. So, I mean, he didn't rule anything out for sure. And of course, he's an OPP detective, but he is living in and raising his children in the city of London. So this is very much a visceral reality for him as well when he goes home.
And it's interesting you mentioned that about consulting with theology, because there's a real evil aspect to the things that are happening, as you describe in the book. And there's so many victims that we learn about in the book. Scott Leishman, 16 years old. Linda White, she's 19. You talk about Jackie English. Robert Stapleton, age 11 in 1969. Patricia Brown. Scary, scary stuff. But we have a fascination. Many people do, maybe for the wrong reasons, some for the right reasons. I mean, sometimes my wife will see me watching The First 48, which is a reality murder show on A&E, and she'll comment, you know, why are you interested in that stuff? But I see a lot of times it's the good guys who win when they solve these crimes and they effectively bring about justice. So there's some fascinating tales there. And really, that's the way I look at it, good over evil. It almost sounds like the work of a movie here. The detective you mentioned, a real hero doing his best that he can. Has there been any talk about interest, about a movie about these stories?
Yeah, I mean, from actually before the book was published to the present, various production companies or studios have held the rights to turn it into either a unscripted, so that would be like a documentary format, or scripted, so something like Dahmer, based on actual events, but with creative license. Series for streaming or cable, or for a motion picture. The issue, and this isn't uncommon with a lot of books where there's widespread interest, I mean, is they remain in development in perpetuity because no one really has the secret sauce to figure out how to bring this to life. I mean, if this were to be done as a scripted period piece, it's a Canadian story. You know, you need almost an international co-production to get money from other countries to get the types of resources needed to procure. I mean, this isn't Warner Brothers that we've got on hand anywhere near here. So we don't have a fleet of 60s vehicles to be used in the background. We don't have 60s wardrobes like you have in a lot of these big budget US productions. So I think it would require, and this has been looked at, turning this into like a US, Canadian, UK type of, we'll call co-production, to make sure that, because the story is universally interesting. It just happens to have happened in Canada. It's not a Canadian story per se. And I think moving this from development to production will require, I think, people, producers and studios in other countries recognizing that.
Well, I think there is a really rich material there to work with. And again, the book that we're talking about is Michael's book, Murder City, when London was the serial killer capital of Canada. Scary times, but at the end of the day, the good news is that police are getting a lot better at solving these types of crimes with DNA and other resources that have come along. So, Michael, thanks for being with us today to talk about this. It's important work, and you're doing a great job at it. And I do recommend to all the viewers that they go out and get your book and read this fascinating story about a dark time in our city's history. Thanks for being here, Mike. Take care of yourself, and let's keep in touch.
You bet, Dan. Thanks for having me on.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Watching hockey just got a power play with NHL Center Ice and Super Sports Pack. With up to 37 out-of-market NHL games a week, you'll always catch your favorite team no matter where you live. Whether it's big matchups you're looking for or following your top fantasy picks, it's all here. NHL Center Ice, part of the Rogers Super Sports Pack. All this for only $35.95 a month. Say Super Sports Pack into your voice remote to order.
Wayne Dunn is a staple here in London. I was at an event actually a number of months ago at the back of the food bank where Wayne was given the Governor General's Sovereign's Medal Award for volunteering. And one of the delights of being there, I appreciate you asking me there, Wayne, was just hearing about all the things that you have done in the past for London, not just for the food bank lately, and especially around food-related issues. But you've been at this a long time. How did you first get started in it all? And thanks for doing this today. I really appreciate it. But I think we're eager to hear what it is that kind of drives you.
Well, it's nice being part of the community and having friends like yourself, Glenn. It's I would probably go back a lot of years ago with my mom and dad, and they were parishioners down in the St. Peter's Basilica and were involved in the St. Vincent de Paul and food programs down there. And I remember going with my mom and my dad to some of these places around Christmas time and delivering hampers and that. And as part of the Scrooge food drive, and when I went to Lucas, that's a lot of years ago.
It's a lot of years, yeah.
And from the early going on, even in my business career, I wanted to do a few things, and one would be to help children of that needed it, and hence that was my involvement with Sunshine Golf Classic through the Sunshine Foundation with physically disabled and life-threatening illnesses with children, and another was veterans and the elderly. And I was on the board at Parkwood and North St. Joe's and that for a while, and chaired the tribute dinner. So I did that. And the other thing really came to me is really just helping those in need with plain and simple food. Yeah. And hence the start of the Business Cares that you asked Ed and I to do 22 years ago. And those are the kind of the three main areas, and that the fourth, quite honestly, is probably that I'll share. It's not one I really want to be involved in, but I am now in full guns a-blazing, and that's in memory of my daughter Allison that we lost 2 years ago with brain cancer. But we've started a demo cancer run, and all the proceeds go to glioblastoma research. And we've just come off the third run. She passed away just over 2 years ago, and we did the first run a few months after, and we just completed the third one a month ago or so. And we're now funding a lot of feature research grants and projects across the country, and it's all to make a difference in others that potentially will get the disease and help them and their families. So those are the areas right now. They're all very important to me, and they all remain it. So it's we're off going on their 23rd edition of the Business Cares Food Drive. Can you believe that? How many years? Yeah.
I do think around the Allison piece, though, and I think it's important. I appreciate you opening up about it, but we have Allison's garden at the back of the food bank that's been dedicated to Allison, and it's not just because she was your daughter. This kind of stuff around homelessness, about food insecurity, about helping people with mental health issues, so on and so forth, was really her thing. That's what she did in her life, right? That was her occupation, that was her passion, and she really pursued it, both here and in Waterloo. So I think that seems to be a natural fit because that's what she was like, right?
It certainly was. I go back in her early years, and she went to STA in London here in St. Teresa, and she helped me with the Sunshine Golf Classic, and then she was a big part of our Business Cares food drive when she was in London.
Yeah.
And she took that away with her. She went to Laurier and then Humber for international studies, and ended up in Varanasi, India, helping and setting up women's and children's literacy programs. And she was there for 7 months, came back, worked for World Literacy a little bit, and then landed with House of Friendship in Waterloo, which a lot of similarities to the London Food Bank with food hampers, but homelessness, the men's mission. And that was her mission in life. Yeah. And she left us way too early. It's,
how old was she, Wayne, when she passed away?
33, and with 3 little kids, the oldest being 5 at the time, and the youngest was 1.
Yeah.
So we've had that to deal with, and we miss her so much, but we can continue to grieve and mourn, but the best way out of it is to manage it. And by managing it, what we do is try to do good things for other people. And that's what she would do, and what she would want us to do. If the roles were reversed, I can guarantee Allison would probably be talking with you today about maintaining the business cares and doing some things like that. That was her.
Yeah. One of the things I delight about it is that, and I've thought about it increasingly, I think, over the last few months, is that usually you think about the legacy that parents leave to kids, right? Like you talked about your parents and what they did when you were young, but the legacy that Allison has left with you, like, it's profound. It's not just local, it's not just in London, and it's not just for her kids, it's for her parents. Like I have seen you and Diane, both your wife, become more animated about some of these things, and the willingness to talk, commit to community, to help people that are vulnerable. That's Allison's legacy, and it works itself out every day in you. I've known you for a lot of years, but I have seen that difference since her passing.
Well, thanks for saying that, and it's but it means so much to us, and that's what helps in the grief. Because the grief like this doesn't go away. Yeah. But like I just said, it's how you manage it, and by talking to other people and helping other people that have also lost children or have lost somebody really close. I'm not an expert by any means, but I know our story and what we've done, and I actually, both Diane and I feel pretty good about it, and our other two kids do, and so we're going to continue it, and so whatever we can do to help. Like I remember Allison made a point, if you remember, even that through the when she was sick a few years ago, and you were just starting your the spring food drive, and it was right when she was diagnosed, and she was going through some real troubled times. But she actually said to me, she said, "Dad, you make sure you're down with the London Food Bank doing this stuff." And she said that was that important to her. And she knew we would be doing business cares again, and she knew we were going to be doing a run for it. She really didn't like that at the beginning, but she came around knowing that we were doing it because we're going to help other people. Yeah, that's her legacy. It's wonderful. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So let's talk about some of the stuff that you've done. I mean, I think it's fair to say the food bank has been around 36 years. We've been doing business cares for over 20 of those years. But it really is true that the arrival of business cares, it took a few years to really get up to where it's at now, but the arrival of business cares changed the whole dynamic in London around food security. I think up until that time, Wayne, everybody saw food banks as kind of temporary, and they're not going to be around long or whatever. And I understand all of that, and all of us wished for better conditions in our communities than what we were finding. But after each recession was going on, there were more and more people at risk, and more people that were food secure, and child poverty and child food insecurity was also really growing. So the food bank's ability to be able to reach out and help with that largely depended on food drives. That we were able to go to the public, and churches and faith groups and businesses and others would all help with that. But still, we had to depend on those. Those were what helped us to go through to meet the challenge of food security. But once business cares came, a real stability came to the food bank. I'll have you explain business cares in a minute to us all, but you do it in December, you do it over the Christmas season, and all of a sudden the food bank wasn't working from food drive to food drive to food drive. All of a sudden it had the resources that it needed to not just feed families and agencies, but also to begin to plan for better ways of distributing food. Did you see when you first got business cares going at the food bank that was the kind of difference you were about to make? Did you see that, or no, you were just trying to help out? No, that's the evolution of it, particularly the last 15 years, is just, it's astronomical. Yeah. We really got into it it was a food drive from the business community. Yeah. And our first year, we managed to pull together 36,000 pounds of food, which that's still a lot of food. Amazing. But in comparison, this past year was about 600,000. And what's happened over the last multi-years is the food drive, as you said, the food component of it is quite important, but even the change there of getting into of the non-perishables, so, more nutritious food. We've done, I think, a good job in that the last 10 years, fresh, and really expanded that way. So we're still after food, but we're also after checks, because people, sometimes a lot easier for them. And also it's a lot easier for the food bank and to be able to receiving the type of checks that we're providing now to go into other type of things. So for instance, the community refresh program. So we purchased a food bank truck for that, a refrigerated one. And that was all from funds of Business Cares. And so there's a business model behind it. And likewise, the community harvest program, where, for us to donate $50,000 to $100,000 to that every year, but the return of that out of the harvest, from the farmers and everything, is so big. Like, it's 10 times that.
Yeah.
And I see with what we've done there, the greenhouses, and we're continually trying to look at other business models of things, what to add on to the food, or to purchase things that are really in need. And that's not our responsibility. That's the food banks, but to purchase, I think it's 80% of the milk and food, or milk and eggs over the course of the year comes from funds from Business Cares.
Yeah.
And so by seeing the impact Biz Cares has done in that, it's also expanded to way beyond the business community. Where the business community is the core of it, but we have institutions now involved. We have City Hall involved. The representation we have from seniors, from students, on our committee, we have the LEAP program that Wendy Glover manages from Catholic Central. We have access to upwards of a pool of 200 students to help volunteer, and we need them. Yeah. So we have a few students on our committee. And that's to show them, the older people like myself, we won't do it forever, but we're repopulating it, but we're showing the younger people what's involved. So It's become a dynamic of Business Cares of, yes, it's a 3-week campaign, but as you and I know, Glenn, it's pretty well almost year round right now. Yeah. We'll help out the spring drive and the fall drive. We're there to support in any way, but the calls and the activities that help, like London District Construction Association, they do events throughout the whole year now, supporting Business Cares. Yeah. And pool it all together for us in December. The home builders do the same. Yeah. And we have 300 members from both organizations. And you look at things like that of the outreach now that we have and what's happening. It's I got into it knowing it was a 3-week campaign. Well, quite honestly, it's probably 6-7 full months right now, and that's just fine. Yeah, because that's the difference that we're making.
And just to be clear, that we're talking about things at a systems level here, which is very important. I think people think of, okay, Business Cares, a bunch of businesses, or how many businesses is it, Wayne, 700?
Yeah, over 700 in the past few years, each year.
Yeah, that's amazing. So people out there are thinking, okay, well, those businesses get together, they help the food bank at Christmas time. And part of the reason why businesses are so involved with it is because they don't look at it as just the food bank. They look at it as all the agencies that the food bank is helping as well. So Business Cares is busy helping the Salvation Army and Mission and Women's Community. It goes on and on and on. And that's right. I mean, that's the way that the business community looks at it. They see the food bank as kind of the broker or the funnel through which all of that generosity is spread out. But the idea is to spread it out and to give it to other people. So in that sense, it's a systems level. But the other one, you mentioned community refresh. So there's a situation where we were meeting with the city and they were really having trouble because so much food from grocery stores was going to landfills and filling up the landfill. And this was, surplus food or whatever. So the province began to turn the screws on all the communities in Ontario and said, look, that's not good for the environment. You guys need to find other solutions. So, excuse me. So the food bank made this suggestion. We already work with grocery stores. If we can divert that food from landfills to grocery stores, that would be huge. It would involve the grocery stores getting the food out earlier, so it's not bad when we get it, that it's still good and we can get it out. But then it comes to the food bank and it immediately gets out there to all of these other agencies and the people that we have at the food bank. The problem is that as a food bank, we didn't have the infrastructure to be able to do it. You know, that ability to be able to go around and collect all of that food from the grocery stores and pick it up. They weren't going to do that themselves. So we had to do that. And Business Care stepped up and bought the vehicles for doing it. Right? I mean, and now all of a sudden that's running. That stuff isn't going to the landfill, and we're talking hundreds of tons of food a year that are no longer going there. So it's an environmental win. It's also a food security win, but it's something that the business community made possible because the food bank was unable to do it. I think at that level, even the greenhouse thing that's happened, Business Cares is not just interested, it seems to me, which is why I appreciate it, appreciate you. It's not just interested in, you know, these little mom and pop kind of things that we're doing, which are all important, but we have to change these systems around. As a community, we've got to be better, and the business community stood behind that. I think you really see it that way, because I know in the times we talk about it, Wayne, we keep talking about these kind of things, correct?
Yeah, you know, it's a big problem out there, but we have a big vehicle here with businesses and the community surrounding. They know Business Cares is 100% volunteer driven. Mm-hmm. And to get all these people involved, one of the easiest, or what helps us to explain, especially around Christmas time, is you're right, we are helping 30 other agencies. Yeah. And the list of agencies that we're helping, that's doing things together as a team and a unit. Yeah. And so I'm really proud of Business Cares for that, as our reach out, or if people, other organizations need it, that we're there to help them. And having it go through the food bank like we do, it's perfect. And I think the difference that we end up making, being able to do all these different things and getting the community at large involved for as much as, like, it's amazing. We have a big problem coming up this year. We all know it. Inflation, I don't have to really talk about it. I've been worrying about that for the last 18 months, and sure enough, nobody would have expected it to be this high. But it's an issue out there, and lost jobs and things like that. There's a lot of people hurting, and we see that. There's also a lot of people that are doing well, and a lot of businesses that have really benefit by various things of the economy over the last few years. And that's where our hope is, that we'll do more than okay this coming year. And I used to really worry about having a goal here or go there, whatever. And I learned in the first year of COVID, take the goals off the table, let the community decide from their heart what they want to give. We never ask an amount of money from anybody, but it's amazing. Londoners coming up and putting between food and money together. It's amazing. And that's how it works. Like that grocery weekend we do. So we kick off December 1 for 3 weeks. We're hard at it right now. But the first Saturday and Sunday in December, 3 and 4, we're at 30 grocery stores in the London area. Each manned by a truck and a pool of volunteers of probably 20 to 30 per day. We're there Saturday and Sunday. The amount of food and money we raise out of that is substantial. And that's the good kickoff for Biz Cares. It gives us a big amount of food. Our warehouse this year is going to be at the Agriplex, which is fabulous. So we'll store the food there for the 3 weeks, and other businesses will get involved during the 3 weeks with their staffing, and lots of campaigns and contests are held amongst businesses. And ideally, the corporation itself will normally match or send a check into us, matching whatever the employees do or whatever the case is. But we end up with a lot of food and a lot of businesses and staff involved because of all that. Having the grocery weekend kick off, and then it goes for the 3 weeks, and we're at various other events during the campaign. London Chamber of Commerce is in big with us this year, and they're doing an event, and they donated a huge check just for the mayor's breakfast that couldn't be held this past January. They gave the proceeds to us.
Yeah.
So that's a good start. And we have having the home builders and the construction association and L-Star. They all are doing all their separate events for us. The London Nights, Tampon Tuesday. That's another thing. Even like women's feminine hygiene products. We're always in need of things like that, and baby food, of stuff. So parts of our campaign just do feminine products. Another part will do cereal drives. Like, it's amazing what people are doing. So that's the word that we kind of spread out. And over the period of those 3 weeks in December, all these businesses come together. And quite honestly, it's an easy ask at Christmas time.
Yeah,
it truly is. Like, nobody says no. It's they may not give as much as they would like to or have in the past, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It's that's how we work. But the results all the time are so warm. And we do this big wrap up. I call it a morning of magic. So it's December 21 this year. We have the Agriplex, and it's 8 a.m, and we have all these groups come together. And it's not me blabbering for half an hour or an hour. I blabber a bit, I guess, but it really is about these people and their groups sharing their stories of the campaign, and they're heartwarming, whether it's from Grocery Weekend. Tons of stories come out of that, or all these other events from the companies, and all these big organizations will come in and they'll give us a big check from their members and everything else. And Launa, Brandon McKinnon, he's always involved too.
Training.
So what I'm trying to even say here and try to do, it comes from all sectors of areas, and that's what makes it go. But it really is a morning of magic. It ends up being a lot of food, a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it takes a few hours to figure out what all the totals are, but we do it, and the community is that much better for it.
And as far as the Chamber of Commerce goes, I mean, I was with you a couple of years ago. It was supposed to be kind of secret, but we were at the Chamber of Commerce, and they gave a very generous gift to Business Cares right in December, in time for Business Cares. But it was in memory of Allison and for you. It was their commitment to you to say that they understood that. And I was just so impressed with that. Like, it wasn't just helping the needy. It wasn't just business transactions or whatever it is. You have been part of the Chamber of Commerce, right? You're an important business person in the city, but you also put a humanitarian face on the business community. They saw that, they understood that Allison was like that, they respected it, and they donated heavily towards it that year. I thought that was a remarkable moment.
It's heartwarming, like for Diane and I and our family to see the outpour of all these organizations. It shows you what London, we may be a growing city in that too, but we're still a small city in terms of people really do care and take care of others. And I'll use the run that we do for Allison in September. It's called Done with Cancer. And we partner with the Dam Hill Marathon organizers, but this is a great example. So we need lots of volunteers. Well, here I have volunteers from the food bank and staffing, like you and Jane and your family were there, and like it goes on. They come and help over at Done with Cancer. And fast forward, I had the Brain Tumor Foundation. They're going to be captains at a grocery store, and also they want to volunteer sorting food down at the food bank. And I see a lot of these groups, what they've even done for us personally, like the words of support and kindness, and a lot of checks have been written in Allison's memory for sure, like tons from all aspects. And whether it goes to our glioblastoma research or the London Food Bank, it's all great. It sends a real nice message, and it's like I say, it's pretty special to our family.
Yeah. And I think, to be clear, we're talking here millions and millions of pounds of food That's what we're talking, right? When you look at the over 20 years of doing this and all the stuff that's come in, so we purchase food with that, with the money that also comes in, but also the food from Grocery Weekend and other things. Like, it's millions and millions of pounds worth of food, and that's what stabilized actually the whole system. When COVID came, the health unit visited us and said, look, you've got to keep going as a food bank. You can't close your doors because so many are depending on you to be able to deliver. And we knew that, and we welcomed that, and we tried to step up the best we could. But you have to have a secure system to be able to do that. And if all you're doing is just getting this from food drives and things like that, especially during COVID, that was going to be a hard task. And many food banks across the country couldn't meet that challenge because COVID had shut so many things down. In London, we kind of sailed right through that because Business Cares had provided us that stability to be able to do it. I think that the stability that the business community offered in the time of COVID was remarkable. Also, we spent over $1 million one year funding all the homeless lunches that were happening out there. A lot of that came from government that we didn't want to spend on the food bank itself, so we put it out there. But Business Cares stepped up. I remember developers coming down and seeing me and offering us like $100,000 or $50,000 to help with the homeless lunch program for all of those groups. So what I'm saying, I guess, is it's not just about the money and it's not just about the goodwill. I think it really is about the stability that you have to bring to a food insecure situation in a community in order to be able to tackle it and make it better. If you don't have that stability, then everything is just venture out there trying to do what you can in so many different areas, but you guys have given us that.
Well, thank you for saying that. Glenn, I feel happy and confident knowing we are stable. Business Cares and the support we have. If we can go through COVID, and I remember that first year of COVID, I remember it so vividly.
Yeah.
All of us were worried. We had to do all our meetings by remote and everything. We still pulled everything off, and that was in December. And I remember even firing it up, and that was a few months after Allison had passed away, and my head was obviously just in a different spot. But I remember, that's another one, her saying, Dad, you make sure you're doing Business Cares this year in December.
Yeah.
And by doing it, I'll tell you, you see how the community came together on that one. Yeah. And our committee did, and the outpour, we had a record amount come in that year.
I know, it was amazing.
I couldn't believe it. Sure, we had lots that couldn't do the stuff. And remember, we normally do pickups for a lot of businesses. We didn't do any.
Yeah.
So the check really went, the campaign really went more to checks and plus Grocery Weekend.
Yeah.
And last year was the same.
Yeah.
Of a record amount. And that's what I'm expecting this year too. With I know you Jane and I have talked, and my comment back right now would be, you know what, we're going to look after that, and that comes to the security and insecurity of what's out there right now. We're going to be there to help.
Wayne, we're out of time, but this has been a really special interview for me. I mean, we've become such good friends over the years, but also I think the importance of the business and corporate community in our biggest problems, whether it's homelessness, jobs, all of those things are very, very important. And we're about ready to step into Business Cares again. You're already having your committee meetings and they're going. So if there's anybody out there that wants to help with that, did they just contact you? How would they do that?
Yeah. So our whole website is up and running. It should be pretty well even as of right now. We're in good shape there. If anyone has any special requests or questions or just wants to help in other ways, feel free to give me a call. Yeah. My cell number. You look after that, and I have no problem taking calls and at least directing or giving people where to go, but I'll help myself as well.
Thank you for all you've done for this community. Thank you for all you've done for Allison's legacy, but I think also the stability that you have provided when it comes to food in this community is unparalleled. And I just want to thank you and all of your partners in the business community for doing that. Thanks for doing this today, Wayne. It means a lot to me. Thanks, Glenn. And likewise back to you. Jonas, you're a great friend, and anything for you and Jane. Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Wayne.
Call the the Rogers TV viewer response line. Email us or connect with us on social media. You're watching Rogers TV, London.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to